It's Thursday, November 13th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, nation-building projects. The proposed New Brunswick mine could be on the list of Canada's next batch of major projects. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And be a Santa to a senior. We'll find out how you can make the holidays a little brighter for an older adult. That's in our second hour.
Plus, Black Friday at Best Buy. If you have tech lovers on your Christmas list, then you'll check out some great deals that they're sure to love. That and so much more just ahead on the Thursday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning. Almost 6:01 on this Thursday. November 13th already. So excited you're able to join us today. Thanks for getting up early. Thanks for making us your choice to get you started on the day. We're going to do our best to give you all the information you need to get your day started. Yeah. Weather's been a big story. I was just saying to Latavia that this feels like this kind of bit of gray, a little bit of rain, maybe a bit of wind. That feels very on brand for November in our region.
Absolutely.
It is. Basically, when I think of November, I think of gray. I think of the leaves, the beautiful fall leaves have fallen off the trees, and also you're not necessarily sure what kind of day you're going to have. Is it going to be a bit more of a mild day, or is it going to be really cold?
It really could go either way, any direction, at any given time.
Absolutely.
What's it like at the for the moment?
Well, we are still seeing mixed precipitation across the region. Quite light, though, to start your day. It is a cold start to the day as well. Keep that in mind when you are heading out. But we will be seeing above seasonal daytime highs for much of the maritime region, at least today. Here's a live look at Antigonish. 3 degrees starting off your day. As you can see, the roads are wet, so maybe allot some extra time out on your morning commute. And make sure to have your rain gear and some layers handy because it is going to be cold and quite wet across the region today. -1 starting off your day in Fredericton, 0 early this morning in Charlottetown, 3 degrees in Halifax, 1 in Sydney, colder in Labrador City with -9, 2 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. So here's a look at our satellite and radar. You can see here we do have a bit of fog, cloud coverage early this morning, and we are also expecting a chance of showers and flurries for much of the region today. Seeing a bit of clearing into the afternoon, leaving a bit of sunshine as well. In terms of the wind, quite light this morning and not expected to pick up much. As of right now, only 17 kilometers per hour in Canso, 11 into North Cape. No wind gusts to report at this time. So we'll have a look at your long-range forecast in just a bit, but first, a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. We begin with developing news from RCMP in Nova Scotia. In a social media post issued over the last 30 minutes, RCMP say they're in the area of Forest Hills Parkway. That is a busy road in Cole Harbour, and they were investigating a shooting. In the post, RCMP say one person was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. RCMP also add that there is no public safety risk at this time, but they are telling people in the area that they will see a large police presence as officers continue with the investigation. Sources have confirmed to CTV News a New Brunswick mine is on Prime Minister Mark Carney's list of nation-building projects to be announced today. The proposed mine is 70 kilometers just north of Fredericton. The province says the Sisson mine is home to one of the largest undeveloped tungsten deposits in the world. 8 years ago, there were a couple of years of exploration and construction activity. However, this is also a project that has a tenuous relationship with nearby communities.
It's hard. The boost to the community would most certainly be welcome, and then on the other end, the environmental impact of it.
Earlier this week, Premier Susan Holt alluded to the mine being included on Carney's nation-building projects list. Officials with the company have said that the mine could employ over 300 people and cost upwards of $500 million to develop. Police in St. John are investigating another murder in the city. It happened late Tuesday night in the city's south end. Police responded to several reports of shots fired just after 11 p.m. Officers found a badly injured 42-year-old man. He was rushed to hospital but pronounced dead. Police say the investigation is ongoing, but no arrests have been made, and they believe it was an isolated incident. They're asking anyone with dashcam or surveillance footage to bring it to investigators. It has been a bit of a rough ride for a high-profile Nova Scotia politician at a Remembrance Day event on Tuesday. Chris D'Entremont, the longtime Conservative MP who crossed the floor to join the Carney Liberals last week, attended the Legion ceremony in Annapolis Royal. When he rose to lay a wreath at the front of the hall, several people booed, sparking some grumbles from other members in the audience. Several people expressed a similar sentiment on social media, but the Legion president took it a step further, issuing a statement. It reads in part, "To those that booed Christopher D'Entremont at the service, we say shame on you. You have ruined the day that we remember our fathers, sons, daughters, and grandparents that paid the ultimate sacrifice for the very thing you seem entitled to, the right to give your opinion. There is a time and place for political discord. Everyone has a right to voice their opinion. A Remembrance Day is not one of those times or places." And D'Entremont declined to speak with CTV's Power Play about the matter last night. In the Halifax area, beachgoers are finding used syringes and vials littered across Crystal Crescent Beach.
So it looked almost as if things had washed ashore. I ran or walked a couple lengths of the beach picking them up, and I continued to find them almost as if they're coming in with the waves. There's a lot of wave activity yesterday as well. So it looked as though they had come from offshore.
Over the past few days, Jeff Sutherland and his partner Sarah picked up roughly 24 needles and a couple of vials with a label that identifies the contents as testosterone. They reported their findings to DNR and were told someone was sent to the beach to check for more and that none were found. In the afternoon, our CTV reporter found 2 more needles, one in the sand, the other half buried, pointing upward. Area MLA Brendan McGuire has asked the Federal Department of Fisheries and Oceans, as well as the Coast Guard, to get involved. McGuire adds it could also be an issue for the RCMP if the debris can be traced back to where it came from. There's some sad news to share with you this morning as well. True patriot love. Peter Bayless, the longtime Halifax Mooseheads anthem singer, has passed away. Bayless was diagnosed with an aggressive form of brain cancer earlier this year. He had been the anthem singer for 15 years and was previously a member of the band the Hopping Penguins. The Mooseheads shared the news on social media, recognizing his unwavering dedication and contagious passion. Peter Bayless was 62 years old. Finally, some good news for curling fans around here. The world's top men's teams will be in St. John in 2027. The port city will play host to the BKT World Men's Curling Championship at TD Station in the spring of that year. St. John has previously hosted World Curling Championships in 1999 and 2014. The 2027 event will be historic, though, as it marks the first World Championships with an expanded field of 18 teams from the current 13.
It's going to be a new format, but also importantly from an economic impact standpoint, obviously that's 5 more teams worth of players and support staff and fans that will produce more heads and beds that the local hotels will certainly appreciate as well.
Officials say many volunteers will be needed to pull off the event, and information on how to volunteer will be released soon. Curling Canada also says ticket information should be out this spring. Wow, so much curling action happening.
I know,
around here.
right?
Big year for curling, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, after 238 years, the U.S. is minting its last 1-cent coin. Goodbye to the penny. Earlier this year, President Donald Trump announced on social media that he ordered the nation to stop making the penny, stating that each one cost nearly 4 cents to create. Although the penny already seems obsolete to some consumers, its removal is causing problems for some merchants who will now have to round up prices either up or down. You remember what that was like a few years ago.
Yeah.
Also, dropping of the penny will cause a greater need for nickels, which is actually a more expensive coin to mint.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so the numbers are staggering, but gosh, they're a lucky penny. If you find one, it's really lucky now.
It's really gonna be lucky. It's still sometimes weird not getting that penny in.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
But now we've adjusted, like rounding up, rounding down. We're like, oh, whatever now.
Yeah, we're to the U.S. You got this.
We've been there.
Exactly.
All right, coming up, first look at your national and international news headlines on this Thursday morning. And Latavia will have more details on the full forecast that's coming up next. Good morning to you, Officer Square in Fredericton, New Brunswick. A dark start to the morning. The sun will be up before you know it. Latavia will have details on what you can expect coming up.
Welcome back. The time now is 6:12. We're taking a live look at St. John's, Newfoundland. As you can see here, quite a foggy start to the morning. As of right now, 2 degrees in your area and expecting periods of rain throughout your day. Well, into the afternoon, actually. You may see some sunshine early before that. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. Another cold start to the day. Temperatures will warm up for the most part for the maritime region, seeing above seasonal daytime highs yet again today. So as of right now, -2 degrees heading outdoors in Edmundston, -1 in Fredericton, 0 starting off your day in Charlottetown with 2 degrees in Halifax and Sydney, -9 into Labrador City, and 0 over in Gander. Here's a look at our forecast timeline. We do have a bit of fog early this morning across the region that will dissipate, and we are seeing mixed precipitation yet again today. So for New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, seeing a chance of flurries and/or showers. We also have a chance of some showers across Prince Edward Island, seeing mixed precipitation for parts of Labrador. And for Newfoundland, looking at periods of rain throughout your day today. Into the afternoon, much of the same is expected. A lot of that mixed precipitation transfers over to just precipitation. And for Newfoundland and Labrador, still seeing some spotty shower and flurry activity. As you can see into the evening hours, that's when we start to see that wet precipitation, mixed precipitation, I should say, across Newfoundland move in. And then for the maritime region, starting to see a bit of precipitation clear out. We are expecting a bit of sunshine in our forecast for Friday, but also seeing periods of rain and/or snow returning. If you're wondering about our precipitation totals from now until early Friday morning, looking at around 2 to 30 millimeters across Prince Edward Island, only seeing around 10 to 20 for Moncton in New Brunswick. And for Nova Scotia, could get up to 2 to 50 millimeters, seeing the heaviest into New Glasgow and Truro. Over to Labrador, not seeing any totals accumulate, but for Newfoundland, looking around 2 to 40 millimeters of precipitation. And then for our snowfall outlook, seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters expected for Kentville, and over to Newfoundland, looking at around 1 to 10 centimeters of snowfall accumulation. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick, we will be seeing flurries and/or showers starting off the day, clearing for the most part into the afternoon, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Daytime highs will range from 2 to 6 degrees, and pretty light wind expected throughout your day. A chance of showers and flurries return into the evening. For Prince Edward Island, highs between 4 to 6 degrees, periods of rain throughout your day today. Wind will pick up with gusts of up to 40. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, a chance of some scattered showers. Also seeing a chance of flurries for parts of eastern Nova Scotia. Wind only 20 kilometers per hour. For the rest of Nova Scotia, same thing applies. Mixed precipitation expected throughout your day today. Could clear, leaving mainly cloudy skies into the afternoon. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, a high of -6 degrees today for Labrador City. A chance of flurries throughout your day today. And then a mix of sun and clouds starts off your day as fog and clouds clear for St. John's. And then we see periods of rain into the afternoon, a high of 7. So for a forecast on Friday, temperatures are really going to start cooling down as we inch towards the weekend. The weekend will remain quite cold as well. We are going to see a little bit of sunshine into the morning for New Brunswick, but going to still see some mixed precipitation for parts of Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia, and also seeing the same thing for Newfoundland and Labrador. And then into Saturday's forecast, we will be seeing lots of sunshine return for the most part. Very cold daytime highs yet again, and we do still have some lingering mixed precipitation sticking around. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Have the gloves and toque ready for the weekend. Thank you, Latavia. At the G7 Foreign Ministers meeting in Ontario, Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand sat down with her U.S. counterpart, Marco Rubio, on Wednesday. But when asked by reporters, Anand said the two did not discuss restarting trade talks between the two countries.
As Foreign Minister, my responsibility is to represent Canada on the world stage on these and other issues. That's exactly what I did. And I'm respectful of my colleagues' portfolios, one of whom is Dominic LeBlanc, whose role it is to cover Canada-U.S. trade.
Anand's comments come as G7 foreign ministers wrapped up talks in Ontario Wednesday, discussing a wide range of global issues. And this morning, the longest government shutdown in the U.S. history is finally over. President Donald Trump signed the short-term spending bill late last night to reopen the government. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington with the details.
After nearly 6 weeks, the government shutdown has finally come to an end.
The motion is adopted.
House lawmakers returning to Capitol Hill for the first time in 54 days, narrowly passing a funding bill to fund the government and send the bill to President Trump's desk for a signature.
So I just want to tell the American people, you should not forget this when we come up to midterms and other things. Don't forget what they've done to our country.
Donald Trump and Republicans made the decision to shut the government down, the longest shutdown in American history, would rather do that than provide health care that's affordable to working class Americans.
A majority of Democrats voting against the bill, raising the alarm that the bill does not include Democrats' key demand to extend Obamacare subsidies and keep insurance premiums from skyrocketing for millions. This morning, a new AP NORC poll shows 65% of Americans disapprove of the president's handling of health care, while 62% of people disapprove of the way Trump is handling his job as president overall. As the government reopens, experts warn it will take time to return to normal, including funding for SNAP, the federal food assistance program that feeds some 42 million Americans. And the U.S. Transportation Secretary says it will take days before air traffic will return to normal at the nation's airports. Hundreds of thousands of federal workers will also get back pay, but federal contractors like Willie Joe Price won't be one of them.
It's hard. In the process, during this shutdown, my car broke down. And it's just been things going on and on and on, and I don't have the finances to do it. Right now, everything is like in the red.
This bill only lasts until the end of January. If Congress doesn't pass its standard funding bills by then, we could be in for another shutdown. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
The relationship between U.S. President Donald Trump and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein is under scrutiny after 20,000 pages of documents from Epstein's estate have been made public. Victor Oquendo has more.
New details emerging from the more than 20,000 newly released documents related to Jeffrey Epstein, some mentioning President Trump. In email exchanges with a New York Times reporter in 2015, Epstein suggesting reporters ask my houseman about Donald almost walking through the door, leaving his nose print on the glass as young women were swimming in the pool, and he was so focused, he walked straight into the door. And there was this exchange in 2018 with someone whose name has been redacted. That person writing, "They're really just trying to take down Trump and doing whatever they can to do that." Epstein replying, "It's wild because I am the one able to take him down."
Congratulations, you're now a member of 119th Congress.
Just moments after being sworn in yesterday, Arizona Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva became the 218th and final signature needed on a petition to force a vote on releasing all of the Epstein files.
Justice cannot wait another day.
Speaker Mike Johnson now saying the House will vote on the issue. Opponents worry about protecting the privacy of the victims.
We're going to put that on the floor for a full vote next week.
In an attempt to stop the petition, top White House and Justice Department officials attempted to pressure Congresswoman Lauren Boebert into removing her name from it, meeting with her in the Situation Room, but her name stayed on the petition.
The Department of Justice has not turned over anything of consequence. None of it relates to the types of evidence that would reveal the co-conspirators or others who were involved. That's why the discharge petition is so important.
Earlier in the day, House Democrats releasing emails obtained from the Epstein estate. Those emails include a 2011 exchange between Epstein and his co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell. Epstein writing the quote, "dog that hasn't barked is Trump," adding one of his victims spent hours with Trump at Epstein's home, but that Trump has never once been mentioned. Maxwell replying, "I have been thinking about that." House Republicans and the White House identifying the victim as Virginia Giuffre, who once worked at Trump's spa at Mar-a-Lago. Giuffre said she never saw Trump do anything inappropriate. She died by suicide earlier this year. Trump and Epstein were friends for more than a decade. After Epstein's arrest in 2019, Trump said he hadn't spoken to him in 15 years. He insists he broke off the friendship when he learned Epstein and Maxwell were luring away female staffers who worked at Mar-a-Lago. In a 2019 email to author Michael Wolff, Epstein writing, "Trump said he asked me to resign. Never a member ever." Of course, he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop. Victor Oquendo, ABC News, New York.
A quick break here on CTV's Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we'll have your must-see moment from our colleagues at TSN. We'll be right back after this. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 Minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
like a little keyboard music today. That's a fun choice.
Right? Yeah.
It's 6:25 and time to check in with our friends at TSN Sports Center for today's must-see moment.
Hi, everyone. Mark Rowe inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. And before we go to the American Hockey League, this is Springfield's Nikita Alexandrov going 1-on-2, makes one defender stumble before flipping it upstairs while falling. What a great goal by the Blues prospect who was drafted in the second round in 2019. His 21 goals last season were tied for the second most on the Thunderbirds. They go on to beat Laval 3-1. That is your must-see moment. Tonight, Thursday night football, it's the Patriots and Jets. New England looking to win 8 in a row for the first time since 2019. Kickoff set for 8:15. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
This TSN must-see moment brought to you by J.R. Rahe's Furniture and Appliances.
Now over to your business headlines with our colleagues over at BNN.
30% fewer Canadians made the drive across the border last month compared to October of 2024. It is the 10th straight month of lower border traffic. Canadians started turning away from those car trips a month after the U.S. president was elected. The number of Canadians flying to the U.S. also dropped last month by 24%. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up a fraction to 71.43. West Texas Intermediate crude is down over $2.50 to 58.49. Western Canadian Select is up almost $1 to 49.25. And the TSX gained 418 points for a new record close of 30,827. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Now taking a look at our 3-day forecast. Starting off the day in New Brunswick with some isolated flurries expected to clear into the afternoon, leaving mainly cloudy skies, a high of 5 degrees today. Into the evening, a chance of flurries and or showers expected to return. And then on Friday, really cooling down, a high of 3 degrees. We will be seeing some sunny breaks for much of the province. Into the southern region, getting some scattered flurries. And then on Saturday, a high of 1 degree and lots of sunshine across the province. Nova Scotia will see a high of 6 degrees today. A chance of showers and or flurries across the province. Could see some sunny breaks into the afternoon as well. And then on Friday, cooling down to a high of 4, periods of rain and or snow. And then on Saturday, looking at a high of 3 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud for much of the province. We will be seeing a chance of showers and or flurries for Cape Breton Island. Prince Edward Island looking at a high of 5, periods of rain today. And then on Friday, a high of 5 degrees yet again. Scattered showers with evening chance of showers and or flurries. And then on Saturday, a high of 1, a mix of sun and cloud.
Just ahead in this half hour, the Move Morning Chat. Today, it's all about the things that calm you down. What's your secret trick? We want to know. That's in about 15 minutes on CTV, your Morning Atlantic.
Yes, this is CTV's Your Morning Atlantic on CTV2. Good morning. It's 6:32.
People are trying to wake up, not go to sleep.
Exactly. You need to bring the energy, not the soothing.
Bang on the pans, not put them to sleep.
That's it. Your evening Atlantic would be that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
After hours. Someone just turned up the volume on the TV like, what is she saying? What's going on with the volume? They're normally loud. Yeah, I know. We're just talking about things that calm you down.
Absolutely, yeah.
Soothing voices. That's coming up in the Move Morning Chat with our friends Aaron and Peter in radio. Looking forward to that. And we also love hearing from you, too. So reminder, 10400 is the number. That's where you can send us a text. If you've never texted us before, what's stopping you? We'd love to hear from you.
We would.
And when you text us for the first time, it's going to give you a prompt that says where you're watching from, which is Atlantic. And then the conversation begins. And we check the text messages throughout the show. So it doesn't even have to be in regards to the Move Morning Chat. If there's even a community calendar, maybe there's a traffic note in your region, maybe there's a photo you'd like to share with us, send it along. We would love to see it.
Absolutely.
Many find the patter of raindrops calming. Others not so much, but some like it.
When I'm indoors, love it. Outdoors, not so much.
What are we looking at this morning? It was wet when I left the house today.
Yeah, we're seeing a bit of the same, but very light in terms of yesterday's forecast.
Right.
Here's a look, a beautiful look at the Armadale roundabout. You can see here traffic already picking up early this morning. Something to keep in mind when you are heading out, roads are wet. We are seeing a chance of showers and/or flurries early this morning in Halifax, and a cool start to the day yet again, 2 degrees early this morning in your region. Now, we are going to see temperatures start off quite cool yet again, but temperatures will warm up at least for the Maritime region, above seasonal daytime highs headed our way. As of right now, though, -1 in Fredericton, 1 degree in St. John, New Brunswick, with 0 in Charlottetown, 2 degrees in Sydney and St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our satellite and radar, a messy mix yet again starting off the day. Quite light, though, looking at some isolated flurries and/or showers for the Maritime region. We'll be seeing a bit of clearing into the afternoon, leaving some sunny breaks. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, still going to see some mixed precipitation as well. Over to our current wind. Light across the Maritime region. As of right now, 19 kilometers per hour in Canso, and we do not have any wind gusts to notify you of at this time. We'll take another look at our long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. And we begin with developing news. In Nova Scotia, RCMP are investigating an early morning shooting in Cole Harbour. In a social media post before 6 a.m., police say it happened in the area of Forest Hills Parkway. One person was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. RCMP say there is no risk to the public at this time, but people will see a larger police presence in the area as they investigate. There's no word this morning if police are looking for any suspects, and no description on the victim was released. Police in St. John are investigating another murder in the city. It happened late Tuesday night in the city's south end. Police responded to several reports of shots fired just after 11 p.m. Officers found a badly injured 42-year-old man. He was rushed to hospital but pronounced dead. Police say the investigation is ongoing, but no arrests have been made, and they believe it was an isolated incident. Still, they're asking anyone with dash cam or surveillance footage to contact them. Sources have confirmed to CTV News a New Brunswick mine is on our Prime Minister's long list of nation-building projects, which is set to be announced today. The proposed mine is 70 kilometers and is just north of Fredericton. The province says the Sisson mine is home to one of the largest undeveloped tungsten deposits in the world. 8 years ago, there were a couple years of exploration and construction activity. However, it's also a project that has a tenuous relationship with nearby communities.
It's hard. The boost to the community would most certainly be welcome, and then on the other end, the environmental impact of it.
Should clarify that proposed mine is 70 kilometers north of Fredericton, not 70 kilometers in size. Earlier this week, Premier Susan Holt alluded to the mine being included on Carney's nation-building projects list. Officials with the company have said that the mine could employ over 300 people and cost upwards of $500 million to develop. It was a bit of a rough ride for a high-profile Nova Scotia politician at a Remembrance Day event on Tuesday. Chris D'Entremont, the longtime Conservative MP who crossed the floor to join the Carney Liberals last week, attended the Legion ceremony in Annapolis Royal. When he rose to lay a wreath at the front of the hall, several people booed, sparking some grumbles from other members in the audience. Several people expressed a similar sentiment on social media, but the Legion president took it a step further, issuing a statement. It reads in part, "To those that booed Christopher D'Entremont at the service, we say, shame on you. You have ruined the day that we remember our fathers, sons, daughters, and grandparents that paid the ultimate sacrifice for the very thing you seemed entitled to, the right to give your opinion. There is a time and place for political discord. Everyone has a right to voice their opinion. A Remembrance Day ceremony is not one of those times or places." Mr. D'Entremont also declined to speak with CTV's Power Play about the matter last night. Now, this won't be a surprise to New Brunswickers, but a new report confirms living in the province can be expensive. In fact, the study says you need to earn about $25 an hour to live comfortably. That said, only about half the workers in the province fall into that category.
I imagine it could be really discouraging to hear. I know in previous years, people have contacted us after hearing about us on the news or wherever, and just saying like, well, I don't know, maybe I don't buy it, or I'm a small business owner and I would love to pay a living wage, but I can't.
Generally, about 26% of income goes to shelter, with another 20% for food. Childcare, household expenses, and transportation eat up a lot of what's left. Dozens of affordable housing units in Moncton will be getting some much-needed upgrades. 39 rental homes will be renovated and offered to seniors in the city. There's currently a wait list of 300 who want to live there because the rent is reasonable.
The rents are starting from $625 to $735, 1 and 2 bedrooms.
We need to make sure that seniors have that stability and that dignity of housing, especially in situations where homelessness is becoming more and more the only option for seniors in Moncton.
About $1 million is being provided by the province and Ottawa for the upgrades. Finally, Nova Scotia's Tree for Boston is on its way to Beantown. Nova Scotia hoisted its annual gift to the people of Boston and loaded it up for the drive to New England yesterday. This year's tree is a majestic white spruce from Lunenburg County, courtesy of the Feener family. Nearly 14 meters tall, the tree will make its way to the Boston Common as a thank you for the city's help following the Halifax explosion in 1917. And the celebration on the Boston Common, it's going to be Thursday, December 4th. And if you don't watch Boston TV, we usually have coverage of it on the 11:30 show with Bruce. And then we'll share it with you in the morning as well if you miss it. So that'll be in early December.
Well, if you're looking for a reporter to go out and cover that story, either in where it's cut in Nova Scotia and or Boston, sign me up, boss. I would love that.
Send this lady.
Fun fact, they have to clip a lot of the branches to kind of get it ready for the transport.
Yeah.
And the branches are scooped up by the people at Compass Distillers, and they make a special gin out of the Boston tree.
Really? Well, that is fun and festive.
So that's sort of a cool thing if you're interested in, like, you know, really getting into the spirit. Literally, for the Boston tree. Anyway, okay, this is kind of related. Many Canadians say they'll spend actually less this holiday season as they work through the higher cost of living. Maybe you can take some
Oh, yeah, you let that cough go. So this is according to a new survey from insolvency firm Harris & Partners. Almost 72% of the Canadians surveyed say they will cut back on Christmas spending this year. About 62% say they do not feel financially prepared for the holidays, and 53% have some anxiety about affording it as well.
That's totally understandable, really.
Yeah, I think it is as well, too. It's kind of on par with what we've been hearing over the past, well, year, and I want to say a few years on top of that.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people are now thrifting holiday gifts. We love to thrift. Yes, we love to thrift. It's a problem. But also, like, I find even with my children, they're not even 2 yet. They don't understand what Christmas is. I have gifts that were given to them for their birthday that wasn't open. They're getting them for Christmas.
Yeah, new wrapping paper. Exactly. All right. Still ahead, your entertainment headlines. But coming up next, it is the Move Morning Chat. If the thought of spending stresses you out, we want to know what calms you down. That's the topic we are covering. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. It's 6:41.
Happy Thursday, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 6:44. We're taking a live look at Cape Smoky. A cold start to the day. Keep that in mind when you are heading out. 0 degrees in your area. And we are also going to see a chance of showers throughout the day. We do have some wet weather tracking across much of the region yet again today, and a cold start to the day. Temperatures will warm up a little bit later on for the Maritime region. Above seasonal daytime highs expected for the most part. As of right now, -1 in Fredericton, 0 starting off your day in Charlottetown, 2 degrees in both Halifax and Sydney, -9 in Labrador City, -4 degrees in Happy Valley Goose Bay, and 2 into St. John's, Newfoundland. A bit of fog starting off the day early this morning across parts of Atlantic Canada. That will dissipate. Some cloud coverage will clear, leaving a bit of sunshine into the afternoon. But starting off early this morning, we're still dealing with some mixed precipitation across the region. A chance of flurries across New Brunswick today. A chance of showers for Prince Edward Island, and mixed precipitation expected for parts of Nova Scotia. For Newfoundland and Labrador, same thing applies. For Labrador, looking at some mixed precipitation. And for Newfoundland, into the afternoon, we'll be seeing periods of rain. So into the afternoon, a bit of clearing from that mixed precipitation. Still going to see precipitation tracking for the most part. It is a chance of showers, though, so around 30 to 60% chance of it happening for the maritime region. And then into the evening and overnight hours, we will be still seeing some precipitation tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada, specifically seeing some mixed precipitation move into parts of Newfoundland. Early Friday morning, much of the same is expected, but temperatures are really going to begin to cool down below seasonal. If you're wondering about our rainfall outlook, going to see around 10 to 20 millimeters of additional precipitation for Moncton, around 2 to 30 for Prince Edward Island, seeing the heaviest of that precipitation from now till Friday morning. We're looking at around 40 to 50 millimeters for New Glasgow. And then for Newfoundland, looking at around 2 to 40 millimeters, the heaviest being into St. John's. If you're wondering about our snowfall outlook, only seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters of snowfall accumulation for Kentville, and looking at around 1 to 10 centimeters for parts of Newfoundland. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. We will be seeing a chance of flurries and or showers starting off your day, clearing into the afternoon, leaving some sunshine for the most part. Daytime highs between 2 to 6 degrees, and evening flurries and or showers move back in. For Prince Edward Island, periods of rain throughout your day today, highs between 4 to 6 degrees, wind gusts of up to 40. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, looking at around 4 to 9 degrees as your daytime highs, and some scattered showers throughout your day. For the rest of Nova Scotia, seeing a chance of flurries and or showers, clearing, leaving mainly cloudy skies for parts of this part of the province, with highs between 5 to 7 degrees. For Labrador City, looking at a high of -6, chance of flurries throughout your day today, with periods of rain into the afternoon for St. John's, Newfoundland, starting off the day as clouds clear out, fog patches clear, leaving some sunshine. Into our forecast for Friday, temperatures really cooling down below seasonal for the most part. We are going to see a chance of showers return for parts of Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, seeing some sunshine return for much of New Brunswick, and also going to see a chance of rain and or snow for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. Heavier rainfall into Friday evening for parts of Newfoundland, still seeing snow for parts of Labrador, and then into Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island, still dealing with some wet weather as well. Into our forecast for Saturday, lots of sunshine returns for the maritime region, really cool temperatures for our daytime high. That's a look at your weather forecast. Now we'll throw things over to the Move Morning Chat. Back with another Move Morning Chat, and this morning we are posing the question, what is something that helps calm you down? Aaron, Peter, tell us what it is.
Yeah, we are entering a pretty hectic season with the holidays just around the corner. People are starting to think about doing their shopping. So with the Move family, we've been sharing some tips about the best ways to just instantly calm down and get you in a better mood. And for me, right away, I think about walking in nature, walking through the trees. I've mentioned before, I'm a huge walker, but there's a difference between being in the city, and walking throughout the city, and then being somewhere in the woods. I love being out on the Saltmarsh Trail in HRM. I love the BLT rails to trails, just where you feel like you are completely on your own. I could use maybe ditching the music or podcasts and just really being with nature, but it's all a work in progress.
Right. You don't want to be that far away from music or podcasts. If I know you, Aaron, you want to be, that'll be a part of your nature walk as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw out that if I'm feeling anxious or if I'm feeling stressed and I just need to calm down, for me, it's finding water. And I mean large areas of water. A big lake or the ocean. And I wonder sometimes where that comes from. I'm sure a lot of people might have that same feeling. But I will say that I grew up very close to the Bay of Fundy. I grew up in a little town called Parsboro in Nova Scotia. And we were close to the lake as well. So even now, even though I'm a little bit past grown up at this point, I can still find peace and calm down if I can just find a big body of water to stand and look out over.
Parsboro is so beautiful. Gosh, that's a gorgeous part of the world for sure. Okay, I'm going to throw something out that's a little bit off the beaten path, but I just experienced this yesterday. A nice heated seat. Okay, like yesterday I was in the car. It was a crazy shoot after work, and the cameraman put my heated seat on for me. It was like, oh, it felt so good. So heated seats, shout out to that.
Oh my God, I love your answer. Me, I'm just like Peter. Growing up in a big city in Toronto, I always needed to be by a body of water when I was upset or whatever I was feeling. So I'd always drive over to the dirty lake. But you know what? So being here, surrounded by ocean and clean lakes, It's so amazing, and it's just so good to kind of center yourself and get back on track.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Serenity now. That's where a lot of us are for the next several weeks. So we want to hear from your viewers. This is a great topic. What's something that can instantly calm you down? Share with us. This is all news we can all use. This is a little like therapy group. How can we all calm each other down? Text us at 10400. We'll share your answers later in the show.
Time now to head over to Hollywood, and we'll take a look at your entertainment headlines.
Miranda? Took you long enough. The first trailer for The Devil Wears Prada 2 is out now. The movie is a follow-up to the original 2006 film, which starred Anne Hathaway as a recent college grad trying to navigate the world of high fashion. Hathaway is back for part 2, as is most of the original cast, including Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, and Stanley Tucci. It struts down the runway May 1st.
We have a downed spacecraft.
Alien Earth is getting a second season on FX. The sci-fi series, a spin-off of the original Alien movie, aired its first season earlier this year. FX is owned by Disney, the parent company of ABC News. Adele will soon make her debut on the big screen. The British singer has signed on to star in a new film called Cry to Heaven from director and fashion mogul Tom Ford. Speaking of musicians making the jump to movie stars, Sabrina Carpenter has also signed on to produce and star in a new untitled film inspired by Alice in Wonderland. And happy birthday to Whoopi Goldberg. The Oscar winner and host of The View on ABC is turning 70. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
And happening now in local news, heavier police presence on the Forest Hills Parkway in Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia this morning as RCMP investigate a shooting that sent one person to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Also later today, the Prime Minister will reveal who's on the list for future nation-building projects. There is a strong belief a proposed mine in New Brunswick could be one of them. And we will tell you about a Cape Breton man's fitness and fundraising goal that exceeded expectations. Those details coming up next in your local news headlines. But first is a look at the 3-day forecast with Latavia.
Thanks, Amanda. A high of 5 degrees today, and looking at some isolated flurries starting off the day, clearing into the afternoon, leaving mainly cloudy skies. Into the evening, a chance of flurries and or showers return. And then on Friday, really cooling down to 3 degrees. We're looking at a mix of sun and cloud with some scattered flurries for the southern region. On Saturday, sunshine with a high of 1. Nova Scotia is looking at a high of 6 degrees today. Mixed precipitation clearing, leaving some sunny breaks into the afternoon. On Friday, we're looking at periods of rain under snow with a high of 4. 3 degrees on Saturday, looking at a mix of sun and cloud. We do have showers and or flurries for Cape Breton Island. Prince Edward Island looking at a high of 5 today. Wet weather continues into Friday with scattered showers, mixed precipitation into the evening, sunshine on Saturday.
It's Thursday, November 13th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, nation-building projects. A proposed New Brunswick mine could be on the list of Canada's next batch of major projects. That's coming up in your local news headlines.
And be a Santa to a senior. The program that brings joy to older adults over the holiday season is celebrating 19 years. We'll get the details in just a few minutes' time on Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. Thank you so much for joining us. Time now is 7 o'clock on your Thursday, inching towards the end of the work week. I love it. I love what I do, but I love the weekend.
Exactly. It's so true.
But you know what? I don't know if I love the weekend forecast. I was listening to what you were saying earlier about how cold it's going to get this weekend. There was something about the really first truly cold day of the season where you go, okay, where are the mitts? Where's the toque? Where's the heavier jacket?
Yeah.
Especially if you're like running around getting the kids ready for school too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of time.
It's a reality check for sure. I actually embrace the first really cold time because in our situation we have a fireplace and the draft isn't that great. You've got to have a really cold day in order for the smoke to go up the chimney nicely. I think this weekend might be first fire in the household.
That'd be amazing. I love a good fireplace.
Yes.
Very soothing.
But how cold is it this morning? It was hard to tell when I left the house.
It's not as cold as yesterday, but it is still quite cold this morning.
Yeah.
Just something to keep in mind when you are heading out.
Looks cold.
Yeah, a beautiful start to the day in Lockport, but rather cold as well. We are going to see a chance of some isolated showers in your area. Just keep that in mind if you are heading out there today. But in terms of our forecast, we are still seeing mixed precipitation for much of the region. -1 in Fredericton this morning, -3 degrees in Bathurst, 0 in Moncton and in Charlottetown, 2 degrees in Halifax and Sydney, 4 in Yarmouth, and 2 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our satellite and radar, exactly what I just mentioned. We are seeing a chance of showers and/or flurries for much of the region. Looking at still a chance of flurries for much of Labrador, and periods of rain will move into Newfoundland into the afternoon. In terms of our current wind, it is remaining light today. Will pick up this evening, but as of right now, only 19 kilometers per hour in Canso, and no wind gusts to report at this time. We'll have another look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. And we begin with developing news. In Nova Scotia, RCMP are investigating an early morning shooting in Coal Harbour. In a social media post before 6 a.m., police say it happened in the area of Forest Hills Parkway. One person was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. RCMP say there is no risk to the public at this time, but people will note a larger police presence in the area as they investigate. There's also no word if police are looking for any suspects and no description on the victim. In New Brunswick, police in St. John are investigating another murder in the city. It happened late Tuesday night in the city's south end. Police responded to several reports of shots fired just after 11 p.m. Officers found a badly injured 42-year-old man. He was rushed to hospital but pronounced dead. Police say the investigation is ongoing, but no arrests have been made, and they believe it was an isolated incident. Anyone with dash cam or surveillance footage is being asked to share it with investigators. Sources have confirmed to CTV News a New Brunswick mine is on Prime Minister Mark Carney's list of nation-building projects set to be announced later today. The proposed mine is 70 kilometers just north of Fredericton. The province says the Sisson mine is home to one of the largest undeveloped tungsten deposits in the world. 8 years ago, there were a couple years of exploration and construction activity. However, it's also a project that has a tenuous relationship with nearby communities.
It's hard. The boost to the community would most certainly be welcome, and then on the other end, the environmental impact of it.
Earlier this week, Premier Susan Holt alluded to the mine being included on Carney's nation-building projects list. Officials with the company have said that the mine could employ over 300 people and cost upwards of $500 million to develop. In the Halifax area, beachgoers are finding used syringes and vials littered across Crystal Crescent Beach.
So it looked almost as if things had washed ashore. I ran or walked a couple lengths of the beach picking them up, and I continued to find them almost as if they're coming in with the waves. There's a lot of wave activity yesterday as well. So it looked as though they had come from offshore.
Over the past few days, Jeff Sutherland and his partner Sarah picked up roughly 24 needles and a couple of vials with a label that identifies the contents as testosterone. They reported their findings to DNR and were told someone was sent back to the beach to check for more and that none were found. However, in the afternoon, our CTV reporter found 2 more needles, one in the sand, the other half buried, pointing upward. Area MLA Brendan McGuire has asked the Federal Department of Fisheries and Oceans, as well as the Coast Guard, to get involved. McGuire says it could also be an issue for the RCMP if the debris can be traced back to where it came from. The battle to stop infilling of a cove on the Dartmouth waterfront is ramping up again.
Save Dartmouth Cove! Save Dartmouth Cove!
Residents took their case to provincial offices, worried the province might green light the project they've been fighting to stop.
the municipality was finally able to take the step to bring in bylaws to limit infilling in Dartmouth Cove, just as they did a year ago at the Northwest Arm. And that's a really big thing for us.
We've met with as many people as we can to explain the issue with the pyritic slate, the horrendous environmental record that exists in Dartmouth Cove, and how our project's going to redevelop the fisheries habitat, cap the contamination, and have less exposure to deadly heavy metals and carcinogens that exist in the cove right now.
Transport Canada issued an amended approval for the infilling work last month. Finally, this is an epic feat on 2 feet.
It's going to be pretty emotional running into the deck on that last night when I'm coming into Shabakdo Street.
I mean, it was certainly emotional on Monday night when Herbie Sakalauskas completed his goal of running the entire Cabot Trail for a cause. So as we told you not too long ago, the Cape Breton man was running the full 276 kilometers of the trail over 4 days to raise money for a new cardiac device at the Cape Breton Regional Hospital. So he went well over his $30,000 fundraising goal, managing to raise, get this, $41,452
Incredible.
for the foundation.
I mean, good on him. What a great cause. The weather has been challenging, and he persevered. And I have not run in the Cape Breton Trail, the Cabot Trail Relay. My husband has. It's some of those legs are
mountains.
Yes, thank you.
Yes,
that's hard.
It's so hard.
It's so challenging to do it on your own for a good cause. Obviously, he had a lot of support, and great. Like, congrats to everybody involved.
Yeah, amazing. It's not just like running on a flat trail, like the BLT trail that Aaron mentioned.
It's and with the weather and everything, the wind, wow.
Yeah. It is wild. Congratulations to him. But yeah, over $40,000.
Incredible.
It's amazing what one person can do when they set their mind to it.
Right? Yeah, it's incredible.
All right, we're getting, this is just something I wanted to bring up because we've been talking about it throughout the year. Hudson's Bay, of course, no longer with us as a business as we knew it, but they had a historic art collection connected with the business. It's going to be auctioned off in the coming days. So 27 fine art paintings from the historic company's 4,400 item collection will be going to the highest bidder next week. Previews of the collection have been held in cities across the country, and Toronto's started this week. So some of the favorites is this one called Lights of a City Street. That's that one. It features Toronto in the 1890s by Canadian artist Frederick Martlet Bell Smith. The bidding is going to start at 3 p.m. next Wednesday, so you can see these historic pieces. I mean, the business had been in business since the 1600s, so it amassed a lot of stuff in that time. So it's just interesting to see where everything's going to go.
A piece of history.
Exactly.
I wanted one of those giant white moose statues that they had in their last holiday season.
Oh, you mean like in the stores? Yeah, that's it. Interesting, those items weren't cataloged in the historic collection.
I know. Especially like Toronto back in the day with top hats and streetcars still. I was like, this is not Toronto I know.
We love an epic window.
A little bit busier now.
Yeah.
Okay, just ahead, we're going to have your national news headlines, and Latavia will have the latest look at the Thursday forecast. Is it a day to go along a hike near Burnt Coat's Head? Well, Latavia will tell you when we return, 7:09.
Taking a live look at Moncton early this Thursday morning. Welcome back. The time now is 7:13. It's a cold start to the day. Something to keep in mind when you are heading out. 0 in Moncton right now. We are expecting a chance of scattered showers and or flurries in your area today. Also something to keep in mind, you may want to allot some extra time out on roads this morning. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. You can see it's quite cold across the board. As of right now, -1 in Fredericton, 0 in Charlottetown, 2 degrees in both Halifax and Sydney, as well as into St. John's, Newfoundland this morning. We had patches of fog early this morning, cloud coverage and mixed precipitation across the region. For today, we're looking at a chance of showers and or flurries for much of the region. Newfoundland and Labrador dealing with the same thing. Into the afternoon, we'll see periods of rain move into Newfoundland. So starting off their day with sunshine and then seeing precipitation move in. For the Maritime region, we will be seeing a bit of that mixed precipitation start to clear out, leaving some sunny breaks into the afternoon. And then into the evening and overnight hours, we're dealing with pretty much the same, mainly cloudy skies, as well as that mixed precipitation taking us into early Friday morning. We are expecting another colder day ahead, something to keep in mind as well, preparing for the next day. If you're wondering about rainfall accumulation, only seeing around 10 to 20 additional millimeters of precipitation for Moncton, 2 to 30 for Prince Edward Island, the heaviest being in New Glasgow at around 40 to 50 millimeters. That's additional to what we have received over the last couple of days, as well as into Newfoundland, looking at totals ranging from 2 to 40 millimeters. If you're wondering about snowfall, we're looking at around 1 to 5 centimeters of additional accumulation for Kentville and seeing around 1 to 10 for parts of Newfoundland. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. A cold day ahead for the most part. Some temperatures will remain seasonal. Daytime highs between 2 to 6 degrees, and looking at a chance of flurries and showers starting off the day, clearing into the afternoon. There'll be some sunshine, and we will be seeing a chance of flurries and or showers return into the evening. For Prince Edward Island, looking at periods of rain throughout your day today. Wind out of the northeast, 20 gusting to 40, and then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, a chance of some scattered showers. Also could see a chance of flurries, and for the rest of Nova Scotia, looking at the same thing, mixed precipitation clearing, leaving mainly cloudy skies into the afternoon. For Labrador, looking at a high of -5 degrees today with a chance of flurries throughout your day. And a mix of sun and clouds starts off your day in St. John's with a high of 7 degrees and periods of rain into the afternoon. Friday's forecast, daytime highs really cooling down. We will be seeing some precipitation tracking across parts of the Maritime region, still seeing flurries and or rain for parts of Newfoundland. And then into Saturday, in our weekend forecast, even colder day ahead. Some sunshine for the Maritime region, also seeing some mixed precipitation return for Newfoundland and Labrador. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thanks, Latavia. A major Canadian airline has lost a court battle with a couple who were refused boarding on a flight back from their honeymoon destination. The judge said the video the travelers took that documented how they were treated was a big part of the court's decision. CTV's Adrian Gabriel has more.
We want to go home, that's all.
On March 31st, 2024, Madhu Haridas and his wife arrived at Punta Cana International Airport to check in for their air transit flight home to Toronto. The couple were finishing their first vacation away as husband and wife.
We had fun except the last day.
The last day?
Yeah.
Not so fun?
Not so fun.
That's because when they arrived at the airport, this Air Transat check-in supervisor refused to check them in unless the couple erased video they had taken of their customer service experience.
I need to delete all pictures and all video for check-in.
When they first arrived at the airport, they asked an Air Transat agent where they should line up. Haridas's wife was traveling with an Indian passport and a Canadian work permit.
He first yelled and told to stand behind a red line. So there was a red marker on the floor. So when he yelled, immediately we stood behind.
The couple say they asked the agent to stop shouting. It was during that exchange he first refused to check them in.
When he allowed everyone else to check in, that's when I started taking videos.
Then came the ultimatum.
Okay. Delete all information with meeting your cell phone.
It is a form of extortion or blackmailing, essentially.
Never allowed to check in, they had to purchase expensive same-day tickets with another airline. They took their case to small claims court. In a written decision, an Ontario judge found that Air Transat's conduct was effectively egregious. The judge applauded the couple for taking video, which assisted him in reaching his decision.
There is no right for the airline or any airline employee to privacy that would deprive you of documenting how they are treating you.
As a passenger, you should know your rights before you travel.
Air Transat has declined to comment on the court's ruling.
The small claims court ruling resulted in Air Transat having to pay $7,000 to the couple, who say their payment included an email from the airline congratulating them on their victory.
CTV's Adrian Gabriel reporting in Toronto. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we'll have details on the 19th annual Be a Santa to a Senior. That's coming up when we return. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Welcome back at 7:21, and the holiday season is a time of giving. But for many seniors without a family, it can feel anything but festive. The Be a Santa to a Senior program is kicking off, inviting the community to spread joy by gifting special presents to older adults. Here to tell us more about the program is Brittany Keogh-Meisner, the Service and Engagement Director of Home Instead, and Catherine Campbell, VP Operations and Communications at the Berkeley Retirement Residence. Good morning to you both. Great to see you again.
Morning, great to see you.
And congrats on 19 years of the program. So, Brittany, for those who aren't familiar with it, how does Be Santa to a Senior work?
Yeah, so what we do is we work with social workers and individuals who are in long-term care, senior centers, and they identify seniors who may be isolated and alone over the holidays. And what they do is they send us a list of these seniors that they identify with a few gift requests, and they're pretty basic items, just comfort items like blankets, robes, slippers, box of chocolates, and then we come up with bulbs that we put on trees that Catherine will tell you more about, and then community members go out and purchase the gifts and then bring them back to where they picked up the tag, and then we wrap them all and deliver them all in time for Christmas.
Perfect. There's the bulb. So, Catherine, what's going on here?
Well, the Berkeley has trees in all of our locations, and the bulbs can be picked up. People come in off the street. Our own residents will take a bulb and go out and, oh, there they are right now, go out and buy gifts and whatever they may be. And they might be something simple like socks or a house coat or something that they need more specifically, grabber type things. And then they bring the presents back to the Berkeley. And as you can see here, our residents are actually wrapping. So we have a wrapping program that just everybody comes together, and we all kind of love wrapping presents, but usually we're under sort of the time crunch, right? But it's lovely because they have this opportunity to come together and chat with one another and wrap gifts, and it's quite joyful.
So the bulb has a name and the item. So you would go into the Berkeley, grab a bulb or two, or as however many you think you can handle, and then you go buy the gifts and then return them to the Berkeley.
That's right.
Where they're wrapped. Yeah. I got to join the seniors last year in wrapping. They were so much fun. I had a great time. It's really, it's a joyful program. It's like kind of the whole thing spreads joy. The tree looks beautiful. That spreads joy. Yeah. So, Brittany, how can people who are watching right now, obviously they can go pick up a bulb, but you know, I guess maybe a great question for you might be what people tell you about how this program impacts them.
Yeah, so each year I hear so many feel-good stories about just how important this program is to people in the community. One story, we had a social worker explain that she had someone in the hospital who was often cold, and just being able to provide a warm blanket to him was just so life-changing for him because it just could keep him comfortable. We also have a senior center that hosts a holiday turkey dinner, and they give out the gifts there, so that really makes a difference knowing that the people who are attending that dinner can get a little something to go home with.
Yeah, and Catherine, what have you noticed from the people who participate? How is it changing their lives?
Well, I think, you know, it's a great way for people to give back. And because what we do is create a community for people, it's another way for us to add to our programming so that people have that feeling of giving back to the community, to other seniors in the community, to other older adults that might be in need, because our residents feel very grateful to live in the community they are in. They're not lonely and they're not wanting for anything, and they all have lots of wonderful things happening at during the Christmas season. And you know, it's just been great that for 15 years we have been able to partner with and support Home Instead. This is a huge program, as you can well imagine.
Yeah, it is. I know that seniors everywhere in our region benefit from that. So really, really quick, just what's the deadline to pick up a bulb?
The deadline is December 8th, and there's 5 tree locations, so 4 of the Berkeley retirement residences, as well as the Home Instead office, which is on Spring Garden Road in Halifax.
Perfect. That's a lot of information. We put all the details on our website to make it easy for you to become a Santa to a Senior. And now we'll turn our attention over to Latavia.
Thanks, Crystal. We're taking a look at the 3-day forecast for New Brunswick today, looking at a high of 5 degrees. We do have a chance of isolated flurries that will clear, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. A chance of mixed precipitation does return into the evening. On Friday, a high of 3 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud for much of the province into the southern region, looking at some scattered flurries. And into the weekend, cooling down to 1 degree and lots of sunshine across the province. Nova Scotia dealing with a mixed precipitation as well, clearing out, leaving mainly cloudy skies with a high of 6. On Friday, 4 degrees with rain and or snow. And then on Saturday, 3 degrees is your daytime high. Sunshine for much of the province. Cape Breton is still seeing mixed precipitation. Prince Edward Island, a high of 5 with periods of rain throughout your day. On Friday, looking at a high of 5 yet again. Scattered showers with mixed precipitation into the evening. On Saturday, a high of 1 with a mix of sun and cloud.
Coming up in this half hour, the culture of the Bahamas. Our friends on CTV News at 5 have a great new contest that could see you enjoying a tropical vacation. We're heading to the islands just ahead on CTV's Your Morning Atlantic.
Come on in, 7:30, halfway through the show already on this Thursday, November 13th. Really enjoying Katie Kelly's segments from the islands of the Bahamas.
Oh, magical.
I don't know if I've ever been so intrigued to just like get a ticket to someplace. If I had the time, I would go.
It seems also so relaxing,
Yes.
which also touches on what kind of calms you down.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's the question we're posing in our Move Morning chat, which is, what is something that instantly calms you down? I'd say a vacation to the Bahamas is probably high on the list.
Yeah, get me a ticket.
Yeah, the excitement of getting to go, I'd be like, woo! And then once I was there, on the beach, in those luxurious locations, I would be very relaxed. Until it came time to see the cultural events, and then I'd be charged up again because it looks so vibrant, full of life and energy.
It's very similar to like Caribbean, Jamaican culture.
Right.
We have like caravana, stuff like that. So it's like the costumes, and it's gorgeous.
So much, yeah, really great. Okay, it's now 7:31. A lot of people leaving the house right now. So what do they need to wear to get out of the house?
You're still going to want to layer up. We are seeing a colder start to the day. Temperatures will warm up above seasonal for parts of the Maritime region. Here's a live look at Charlottetown, 0 as you head outdoors, though. We are expecting a chance of periods of rain, actually, a chance of showers into the afternoon. So something to keep in mind when you are heading out. Doesn't look like you're getting any precipitation at this time. We are seeing mixed precipitation for parts of the region. Quite light, though, in terms of our accumulation. But it is cold. 0 in Fredericton as well. 2 degrees starting off your day in Halifax and Sydney. -9 in Labrador City with -4 over in Happy Valley Goose Bay. And 1 degree in Corner Brook, 2 into St. John's and Newfoundland. Over to our satellite and radar, a chance of showers and or flurries for much of the Maritime region. We are going to see sunshine start off the day for parts of Newfoundland, and then periods of rain will move into the afternoon. And then for Labrador, still dealing with flurries and or snow for parts of the region. In terms of our wind for the Maritimes, quite light this morning, nothing above 24 kilometers per hour right now in Canso, 17 into Grand Etang, and 15 kilometers per hour in Halifax. No wind gusts to report at this time. We'll have another look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. And we begin with developing news. In Nova Scotia, RCMP are investigating an early morning shooting in Cole Harbour. In a social media post posted before 6 a.m., police say it happened in the area of Forest Hills Parkway. One person was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. RCMP say there is no risk to the public at this time, but note people in the area will see a larger police presence in the area as they investigate. There's no word this hour if police are looking for any suspects, and no description of the victim has been released. Our cameras have discovered police tape around a house on Estelle and Hugh Allen Drive. In St. John, police are investigating another murder in the city. It happened late Tuesday night in the city's south end. Police responded to several reports of shots fired just after 11 p.m. Officers found a badly injured 42-year-old man. He was taken to hospital where he later died. Police say the investigation is ongoing, but no arrests have been made. Though police say they believe it was an isolated incident. They're asking anyone with video to contact them. Sources have confirmed to CTV News a New Brunswick mine is on Prime Minister Mark Carney's list of nation-building projects set to be announced today. The proposed mine is 70 kilometers just north of Fredericton. The province says the Sisson mine is home to one of the largest undeveloped tungsten deposits in the world. 8 years ago, there were a couple years of exploration and construction activity. However, it's been paused for a few years. It's also a project that has a tenuous relationship with nearby communities.
It's hard. The boost to the community would most certainly be welcome, and then on the other end, the environmental impact of it.
Earlier this week on Monday, Premier Susan Holt alluded to the mine being included on Carney's nation-building projects list. Officials with the company have said that the mine could employ over 300 people and cost upwards of $500 million to develop. An uncomfortable situation for a high-profile Nova Scotia politician at a Remembrance Day event on Tuesday. Chris D'Entremont, the longtime Conservative MP who crossed the floor to join the Carney Liberals last week, attended the Legion ceremony in Annapolis Royal. When he rose to lay a wreath at the front of the hall, several people booed, sparking some grumbles from other members in the audience. Several people expressed a similar sentiment on social media, but the Legion president took it a step further, issuing this statement. It reads in part, "To those that booed Christopher D'Entremont at the service, we say shame on you. You have ruined the day that we remember our fathers, sons, daughters, and grandparents that paid the ultimate sacrifice for the very thing you seem entitled to, the right to give your opinion. There is a time and place for political discord. Everyone has a right to voice their opinion. A Remembrance Day is not one of those times or places." D'Entremont declined to speak with CTV's Power Play about the matter last night. It won't be a surprise to New Brunswickers, but a new report confirms living in the province can be expensive. In fact, the study says you need to earn about $25 an hour to live comfortably. That said, only about half the workers in the province fall into that category.
I imagine it could be really discouraging to hear. I know in previous years, contacted us after hearing about us on the news or wherever, and just saying like, well, I don't know, maybe I don't buy it, or I'm a small business owner and I would love to pay a living wage, but I can't.
Generally, about 26% of income goes to shelter, with another 20% for food. Childcare, household expenses, and transportation eat up a lot of what's left over. Dozens of affordable housing units in Moncton will be getting some much-needed upgrades. 39 rental homes will be renovated and offered to seniors in the city. There's currently a wait list of 300 who want to live there because the rent is reasonable.
The rents are starting from $625 to $735, 1 and 2 bedrooms.
We need to make sure that seniors have that stability and that dignity of housing, especially in situations where homelessness is becoming more and more the only option for seniors in Moncton.
About $1 million is being provided by the province and Ottawa for the upgrades. Finally, we told you about the beautiful northern lights that could be seen around our region and elsewhere. We have some more images to show you now, courtesy of some viewers. These are some shots captured. Thank you to everyone who sent them in. And the forecast showed a high probability of visible activity again last night over nearly every province and territory. Now, while it's fairly rare for us, but New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and PEI, they fell within the so-called view line, which is why we got to see so many of these stunning images.
Oh, come on. This makes me want to get one of those, like, domes in my backyard that you can sleep in that has it's clear.
Oh, yeah. Is it a yurt?
Oh, yes. There's a geodesic dome. You could get a yurt. There's so many different things. You could just sleep outside, but you'd have to just dress very, 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 very warmly. Maybe just go outside and, get a camera, get set up. That would be amazing.
Well, it would be nice. Yeah, shout out to the photographers too, because I do not know a lot about photography, but I do know you really have to adjust, I believe it's your shutter speed to be able to capture those.
You kind of like capturing the moon.
And they have special stakeout kind of tents and stuff like that, so they can get this kind of imagery. I guess we could get up extra early and go out and try to capture it.
Pretty much. I said to Kyle yesterday, I'm like, I've never seen it. He's like, you never look out the window. I was like, whatever, man. I haven't seen it.
I think to really see it, you do need to take extra precautions. You have to make a real effort to make it possible.
Yeah, to be able to see it.
But shout out to those who do, because the imagery is beautiful.
Oh, that's really wonderful.
All right, I guess this is really cool. This is not something you could photograph. This is captured by scientists who captured underwater footage of remoras riding a whale. Now, we've never seen this before, but this is actual footage. They've somehow been able to attach a camera to the whale. This is the remoras riding on the whale. This has been captured off of Australia's east coast. The remoras live on the whales, and it's a symbiotic relationship. They kind of feed off dead skin and sea lice and kind of eat and keep the whale clean, and in return the whale gives it free transportation.
Right? Hitching a ride.
Exactly.
Yeah. Roaches. Reminds me of a scene from Finding Nemo.
Yeah. Exactly. Anyway, it's rare footage, so I thought you might want to see what it looks like when remoras actually ride a whale.
And now I know what a remora is.
Yeah, exactly.
I had no
remora. They're fun.
Remora. All right, we're going to take another break on this Thursday morning. There's so much more to come. We hope you stay along for the ride, because Latavia will have the very latest on the Thursday forecast. And then we're going to go to a warmer climate. We're going to go to the Bahamas. CTV News at 5 has a great new contest that will send someone on a tropical vacation. We're going to learn more about the culture when we return.
Welcome back. The time now is 7:44. We're taking a live look at Yarmouth. Currently 4 degrees in your area, and we are expecting a chance of isolated showers throughout the day for you. So we are going to see a cooler start to the day for much of Atlantic Canada yet again. Temperatures will warm up for the most part a little bit later on. But as of right now, it is 0 in Fredericton as well as into Charlottetown, 2 degrees in Halifax early this morning, 3 in Sydney, -9 in Labrador City, and 3 degrees over in St. John's, Newfoundland. Early this morning, seeing a bit of fog and cloud coverage and also some wet weather across the region. Looking at a chance of flurries and or showers for much of the Maritime region, extending over into Newfoundland and Labrador into the afternoon. For the afternoon, for the Maritime region, we'll be seeing a bit of clearing, leaving some sunny breaks, but we are going to see mixed precipitation continue into the evening and overnight hours, taking us into early Friday morning. A colder day expected ahead, with still seeing mixed precipitation looming in our forecast. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, we'll be picking up as we enter into early Friday morning, looking at around 10 to 20 millimeters of additional precipitation for Moncton, 2 to 30 for Prince Edward Island, and the heaviest being over in New Glasgow at around 40 to 50 millimeters. And then for Labrador, not really seeing any accumulation, but for Newfoundland, looking at around 2 to 40 millimeters as well. If you're wondering about our snowfall outlook, only seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters of accumulation for Kentville, and looking at around 1 to 10 centimeters for Newfoundland. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick, starting off the day a bit wet. Looking at a chance of flurries and or showers that will clear for the most part, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. But mixed precipitation returns across the province into the evening. Prince Edward Island looking at highs between 4 to 6 degrees today. Periods of rain throughout the day with wind gusts of up to 40. Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia looking at some scattered showers. Also could see a chance of flurries for parts of eastern Nova Scotia. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, looking at a chance of flurries and or showers, clearing, leaving mainly cloudy skies into the afternoon. And then for Labrador City, a high of -5. Also going to see a chance of flurries throughout your day. 7 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at a mix of sun and cloud, and then periods of rain move into the afternoon. Friday, a much colder day ahead, seeing some sunny breaks early in the morning. We do still have precipitation for parts of Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island, and also going to see some snow and heavier rainfall for Newfoundland into the evening. And then on Saturday's forecast, much of the same, very cold day ahead. We are going to see lots of sunshine for all 3 maritime provinces. Could see some light snowfall for parts of Cape Breton Island, and also seeing mixed precipitation for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, Crystal.
Thank you, Latavia. It is now 7:46, and time for another virtual visit to the Bahamas. Katie Kelly takes us on a tour through the heart of Nassau to discover some of the island's most unique cultural experiences.
In the Bahamas, culture surrounds you. And nowhere is that more alive than at Educulture, the Junkanoo Museum dedicated to the country's most celebrated festival.
Junkanoo today is the National Cultural Festival of the Bahamas, started by enslaved Africans over 200 years ago in the Bahamas, who used 3 days holiday at Christmas to recreate their festivals from home. Out of that has evolved what we today know as the spectacular festival called Junkanoo. Boom, 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 boom.
Here, visitors get a hands-on lesson in the heart and history behind the parade, complete with music and dance.
We are going to make sure your feet are moving to the sound of those drums, and we may find you a pair of cowbells so you can enjoy yourself, but it gives you a different perspective on the depth and the gifts that the people of the Bahamas have in addition to their environment.
Junkanoo isn't just a celebration, it's an experience.
I think it gives you, first and foremost, a different view of the Bahamas.
A short drive away, the National Art Gallery of the Bahamas shows another side of the country's soul.
I think what people love is that they get to see the diversity of Bahamian art, colors, the patterns, just seeing the way Bahamian art has evolved over time.
The gallery is the island's creative centerpiece, showcasing works that celebrate Bahamian identity, both past and present.
People are just amazed at all the stuff that we do is not one-dimensional. I think a lot of people think that Bahamian art, or art in general, is just paintings and drawings, and it's so much more.
Just up the hill, history blends with luxury at the Grey Cliff Hotel and Restaurant, an 18th century estate.
It's a great oasis for people to come to and, kind of escape Nassau and visit, a part of history.
Grey Cliff is a world of experiences all in one place. Each stop offers something unique to see, taste, or create. Tucked beneath the estate is one of the largest wine cellars in the Caribbean, home to more than 250,000 bottles, some worth thousands of dollars each. Next door, master craftsmen roll premium cigars by hand using age-old techniques, while guests sit back and savor the experience. And on to one of the sweetest stops on the estate.
So a few years back, we started our chocolate factory. So you're going to suit up, and you're going to look wonderful in your hair bonnet.
Here, visitors sample small batch chocolates made right on site, and even create their own bar to take home. Guests can also take part in creating one-of-a-kind wearable art.
Batik is famous because we have a couple of batik companies here in the Bahamas.
Each shirt is patterned using melted wax, then dipped in color to reveal bold tropical designs.
So it's a fun activity, and it's a good keepsake that you've made, and it's a unique thing to take home.
And just down the road, a different kind of Bahamian flavor. At Tasty Teas, wellness and tradition come together.
We grew up drinking what we call bush medicine, so different herbs, flowers, and leaves that come from the bush.
The business traces back to the vision of Hilda Forbes. After a cancer diagnosis, she says she experienced a spiritual calling.
In a dream, she saw the soursop leaf and Revelation 22:2. The leaves of the trees are for the healing of the nation.
Tasty Teas welcomes visitors to sample their handcrafted blends, all made right here in Nassau.
It's a great experience. I think really atmosphere is the main thing. So they come in, they feel welcome, they feel like they're having a good time. And then the drinks taste great, the food is good, so,
Wow, looks incredible. CTV and the islands of the Bahamas have teamed up to send you on a tropical vacation. So one lucky viewer and the guest will win a round-trip direct airfare from Halifax to Nassau. The 7-night stay also includes meal vouchers and a day trip to Blue Lagoon Island, where you'll experience an intimate dolphin encounter, plus so much more in this package. Each weeknight from now until Friday, we're going to give you a keyword, and we're going to do it this morning as well. So you've got 2 chances to get the keyword every day, but only 1 entry per day. So head to CTV Atlantic and follow the contest prompts or scan that QR code you see right now. So today's word is islands, and the winner will be announced November 21st. Looking good, doesn't it, Amanda?
Oh my gosh. Especially right now with the forecast. Thank you so much, Crystal. And thank you to Katie for those segments as well. Health and medical news now. A new study is adding to the body of evidence. Drinking too much alcohol could put you at higher risk of brain issues. It is one of the topics in your health. According to a new study published in the journal Neurology, heavy alcohol use was associated with more severe brain bleeds or bleeding strokes and earlier long-term brain damage. Heavy alcohol use was defined as regularly consuming 3 or more drinks per day. People in that cohort also had brain bleeds on average 11 years younger than those who drank less alcohol. Finally, longer walks may be the key to a healthy heart. A new study showed a lower risk of heart disease in adults that walk in spans of 15 minutes or longer per day. Researchers studied older adults in the UK for over a decade. The study found that people who walked in longer spurts had the lowest risk of dying of heart disease. That's compared to people who don't take long walks. Those folks had the highest risk. Researchers say it's never too late to start walking.
Now we'd like to introduce you to the Maritimers who are marking milestones today. It's a 50th anniversary for Wade and Debbie Goodwin of Lower Argyle, Nova Scotia.
Congratulations, you two.
Gorgeous photo. Happy anniversary.
Great photo. Beautiful shot. And it's a 100th birthday for Eva Marie Feistel of Miramichi.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. 100 years. Look at that smile.
Incredible.
Yes.
All right, well, to see your milestone again or to find out how to submit one, visit our website by scanning the QR code on your screen. And a reminder, milestones must be received 2 weeks in advance.
Milestones, brought to you by the Berkeley Retirement Residences. Love this stage of life.
All right, well, Despacito was the song of the summer back in 2017, challenging us all to brush up on our Spanish. But there's no need for translation, for one little chihuahua in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it turns out that actually a language barrier was the only thing holding the little dog back from finding a future owner. ABC's Danny New explains.
¿Qué pasa? Do you know Spanish?
This is the grande eureka moment.
¿Vamos afuera?
When Monica Matute here realized why her foster dog, Nacho, had not been too responsive whenever she said something in English.
I had not thought of asking him anything in Spanish, and which is ironic because he's a Chihuahua.
This video from late September now has more than 10 million views on Instagram.
Vamos.
Taken just 3 days after Monica brought in Nacho from Wags and Walks Adoption Center in Los Angeles. He had initially been found roaming around the building for days without a microchip.
I started talking to him in Spanish, and it was the most energetic we had seen him.
But despite all this online attention, Monica says the right fit for adoption did not emerge, and the rescue thought he might have better success at its partner organization in Portland, Oregon. Well, this announcement suddenly gave one of Nacho's many fans an idea.
Nancy, how did you find him online originally?
So Nancy was confused as to why he wasn't adopted in California.
Nancy here and her husband Rick live near Seattle, and a few days later, they found themselves driving 3 hours to try and adopt this famous Spanish-speaking perro.
Rick sat on a bench, and he jumped into Rick's lap, and it was like, okay, well, that's that.
Needless to say, they brought him home, and now, a week and a half later,
¿Dónde estás?
Rest assured, Nacho is getting plenty of love in his native tongue. And for Monica, after a month of trying to help this dog find a home, she had this to say during her first time chatting over video with his new mama.
I just couldn't be happier that he ended up with Nancy.
For the record, Nancy has now changed Nacho's name to Rogelio Montoya in honor of Inigo Montoya in The Princess Bride. But she said she mostly just calls him Mijo, which means my son. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Oh my gosh, great story. Now I have to learn Spanish. That's how I'm going to get my Chihuahua.
Right? All right, we're going to take a look yet again at our 3-day forecast, looking at some isolated flurries starting off the day, clearing, leaving some sunshine into the afternoon. Mixed precipitation will return into the evening with a high of 5. On Friday, 3 degrees as your daytime high. Sunshine for much of the province. We do have scattered flurries for the southern region. And then on Saturday, cooling down to 1 degree with lots of sunshine returning. Nova Scotia looking at mixed precipitation today as well, clearing, leaving mainly cloudy skies with a high of 6. 4 degrees on Friday, much of the same expected rain and or snow. And then on Saturday, 3 degrees with sunshine for much of the province, looking at a chance of showers and or flurries for Cape Breton Island. Prince Edward Island, a high of 5 today. Wet weather in our forecast today and on Friday. We are going to see mixed precipitation into the evening on Friday, and then on Saturday, 1 degree with a mix of sun and cloud.
The #1 morning show in Halifax.
Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
It's Thursday, November 13th. Today on your Morning Atlantic, one person taken to hospital following an early morning shooting in Harbour, Nova Scotia. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And Black Friday deals. We'll check out some of the great gift ideas from our partners at Best Buy. That's ahead in this half hour of your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning. Maybe you are watching us with your red light face mask. That's what you were holding,
yes,
right?
Yes, I got to pop by there earlier this week. Yeah, that particular one, we'll go into the details in the segment, but it's flexible flexible medical grade silicone, so it kind of molds to your face, so really comfortable to wear.
I want to know more.
A couple years ago, my mom and I got one, and it has like the neck LED strap too, and then I have like the electric shockwave.
Really?
Yeah, I have all that stuff.
Well, that may explain why your skin is so gorgeous.
I never have the time. But thank you. I appreciate the compliment.
You're always glowing. Oh, my goodness.
It's called exhaustion.
Oh. But you wear it well. Gosh, if you go outside, that'll perk you right up in a hurry.
Oh, yeah. It's feeling quite crisp for parts of the region. Temperatures will warm up a little bit later on, but something to keep in mind when you are heading out. Here's a live look at Digby. We are expecting a chance of showers and or flurries in your area. Looks like we're not really seeing mixed precipitation or any precipitation in your area right now, but just something to keep in mind when you are heading out. Temperatures are quite cool yet again, starting off the day. 0 in Fredericton as well as into Charlottetown, 2 degrees in Halifax, 3 in Sydney, as well as into St. John's, Newfoundland. So here's a look at the current system tracking across the region. It is bringing a chance of flurries and or showers for much of the Maritimes. For Newfoundland and Labrador, we'll be seeing quite the same thing, but into the afternoon. Here's a look at our wind. It is quite light for the Maritimes as well. 24 kilometers per hour in Canso with 17 in Grand Etang, 15 in Halifax. No wind gusts to report at this time. We'll have another look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first another look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. We begin in Nova Scotia, where RCMP are investigating an early morning shooting in Harbour. In a social media post before 6 a.m., police say it happened in the area of Forest Hills Parkway. One person was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. RCMP say there is no risk to the public at this time, but as you can see, there is an increased police presence outside a home on Estelle Drive. That's on the corner of Hugh Allen Drive, in a neighborhood that is off Forest Hills Parkway. There is no word this morning if police are looking for any suspects, and there is no description of the victim. In New Brunswick, police in St. John are investigating another murder in the city. It happened late Tuesday night in the city's south end. Police responded to several reports of shots being fired just after 11 p.m. Officers found a badly injured 42-year-old man. He was rushed to hospital but pronounced dead. Police say the investigation is ongoing, but no arrests have been made, and they believe it was an isolated incident. Anyone with dashcam or surveillance footage is being urged to speak with investigators. Sources have confirmed to CTV News a New Brunswick mine is on the Prime Minister's list of nation-building projects, which will be announced later today. The proposed mine is 70 kilometers just north of Fredericton. The province says the Sisson mine is home to one of the largest undeveloped tungsten deposits in the world. 8 years ago, there were a couple years of exploration and construction activity, but it has been quiet since then. It's a project that does have a tenuous relationship with nearby communities.
It's hard. The boost to the community would most certainly be welcome, and then on the other end, the environmental impact of it.
Earlier this week, on Monday, Premier Susan Holt alluded to the mine being included on Carney's nation-building projects list. Officials with the company have said that the mine could employ over 300 people and cost upwards of $500 million to develop. We'll have more on the other projects that could be on the list at 8:30. There's some sad news to share with you this morning. Peter Bayless, the longtime Halifax Mooseheads anthem singer, has passed away. Bayless was diagnosed with an aggressive form of brain cancer earlier this year. He had been singing the anthem for 15 years and was previously a member of the band The Hopping Penguins. The Mooseheads shared the news on social media, recognizing his unwavering dedication and contagious passion. Peter Bayless was 62 years old. In the Halifax area, beachgoers are finding used syringes and vials littered across Crystal Crescent Beach.
So it looked almost as if things had washed ashore. I ran or walked a couple lengths of the beach picking them up, and I continued to find them almost as if they're coming in with the waves. There's a lot of wave activity yesterday as well. So it looked as though they had come from offshore.
Over the past few days, Jeff Sutherland and his partner Sarah picked up roughly 24 needles and a couple of vials with a label that identifies the contents as testosterone. They reported their finds to DNR and were told someone was sent to the beach to check for more and that none were found. However, in the afternoon, our CTV reporter found 2 more needles, one in the sand, the other half buried, pointing upward. Area MLA Brendan McGuire has asked the Federal Department of Fisheries and Oceans, as well as the Coast Guard, to get involved. McGuire says it could also be an issue for the RCMP if the debris can be traced back to where it came from. Finally, more good news for curling fans in the region. The world's top men's teams will be playing in St. John in 2027. The port city will play host to the BKT World Men's Curling Championship at TD Station in the spring of that year. St. John has previously hosted World Curling Championships in 1999 and 2014. The 2027 event will be historic, though, as it marks the first World Championships with an extended field of 18 teams from the current 13.
It's going to be a new format, but also importantly from an economic impact standpoint, obviously that's 5 more teams worth of players and support staff and fans that will produce more heads and beds that the local hotels will certainly appreciate as well.
Yeah, more teams, more play. Officials say many volunteers will be needed to pull off the event, and information on how to volunteer will be released soon. Curling Canada also says ticket information should be out this spring as well.
It's dynamic as heck. Love that. The flexibility you need to really be able to lunge into those launches. Oh, yeah. I need to curl. I could really use working on my flexibility.
Stretching your hips. Yeah. Our 8-year-old, that's the big thing he's really working on right now.
Oh, my gosh. Keep it limber well into your golden years. I love this.
Very true.
Okay, well, we got to move on. And the show, Latavia's going to have another look at the forecast when we come back. And we're going to have a live look at Moncton right now. Mom, Gray, it's November 13th. Yeah. There's the evidence right there.
Well, they don't call it the Chocolate River for nothing. We'll be right back with the forecast.
Welcome back. The time now is 8:11. We're taking a live look at Burnt Coat Head. It is a cold start to the day, currently 1 degree in your area. Just something to keep in mind if you are heading out. Still expecting a chance of flurries in your area. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca, and we are seeing a cooler start to the day yet again today. As of right now, 0 starting off your day in Fredericton and in Charlottetown, with 3 degrees in Halifax, 4 in Sydney, -9 in Labrador City. Over to our forecast timeline, sort of starting off the day with a bit of sunshine for parts of Newfoundland, starting to see showers move in there slowly. For the Maritime region, we will be seeing a mixed precipitation for much of the region. New Brunswick, Nova Scotia seeing isolated showers and or flurries. And for Prince Edward Island, looking at periods of rain throughout the day. For Labrador, we are going to see snowfall for parts of the region, or a chance of flurries at least. And then into the afternoon, we will be seeing a bit of clearing from that mixed precipitation, still expecting a chance of showers though. And for Newfoundland, periods of rain will move in as well. And then into the evening and overnight hours, much of the same, but temperatures really cooling down, going to be quite cold tonight. We are expecting a chance of showers to remain, bringing us into early Friday morning. Much of the same expected, but a really cold day ahead. If you are wondering about precipitation totals, from now until early Friday morning, we will start to see those totals pick up. 10 to 20 millimeters of additional precipitation for Moncton, 2 to 30 for Prince Edward Island, the heaviest being into Truro and in New Glasgow, 40 to 50 millimeters. And then for Newfoundland, we are going to see around 2 to 40 millimeters of additional precipitation heading your way. In terms of our snowfall outlook, we will be seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters of snowfall accumulation for parts of mainland Nova Scotia and eastern. And then for Newfoundland, looking at around 1 to 10 centimeters rather. If you're wondering about our daytime highs for today, it's going to range around 2 to 6 degrees for New Brunswick. We are going to see a chance of flurries and or showers starting off the day and then clearing, leaving sunshine into the afternoon, but also going to see that mixed precipitation return into the evening. Prince Edward Island seeing highs between 5 to 6 degrees, periods of rain throughout your day with wind gusts of up to 40. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, looking at some scattered showers and or flurries for parts of this part of the province. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, much of the same, a chance of flurries and or showers clearing into the afternoon, leaving mainly cloudy skies. And then for Labrador City, a high of -6, looking at some flurries throughout your day today, and a high of 7 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, seeing some sunshine early in the morning, and then periods of rain move into the afternoon. For Friday's forecast, as I mentioned, quite cold. We will be seeing a bit of sunshine return for parts of the Maritime region, but still also going to see some mixed precipitation. Same thing goes for Newfoundland and Labrador, seeing some heavier rain for parts of Newfoundland. And then into our forecast for Saturday, lots of sunshine, still holding on to some mixed precipitation, but a very cold day ahead. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thanks, Latavia. We begin in Ontario at the G7 Foreign Ministers meeting. Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand sat down with her U.S. counterpart, Marco Rubio, Wednesday. But when asked by reporters, Anand said the two did not discuss restarting trade talks between the two countries.
As Foreign Minister, my responsibility is to represent Canada on the world stage on these and other issues. That's exactly what I did. And I'm respectful of my colleagues' portfolios, one of whom is Dominic LeBlanc, whose role it is to cover Canada-U.S. trade.
Anand's comments come as G7 foreign ministers wrapped up talks in Ontario Wednesday, discussing a wide range of global issues. This morning, the longest government shutdown in U.S. history is finally over. President Donald Trump signed the short-term spending bill late last night to reopen the government. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington with the latest.
After nearly 6 weeks, the government shutdown has finally come to an end.
The motion is adopted.
House lawmakers returning to Capitol Hill for the first time in 54 days, narrowly passing a funding bill to fund the government and send the bill to President Trump's desk for his signature.
So I just want to tell the American people, you should not forget this. When we come up to midterms and other things, don't forget what they've done to our country.
Donald Trump and Republicans made the decision to shut the government down, the longest shutdown in American history. Would rather do that than provide health care that's affordable to working-class Americans.
A majority of Democrats voting against the bill, raising the alarm that the bill does not include Democrats' key demand to extend Obamacare subsidies and keep insurance premiums from skyrocketing for millions. This morning, a new AP NORC poll shows 65% of Americans disapprove of the president's handling of health care, while 62% of people disapprove of the way Trump is handling his job as president overall. As the government reopens, experts warn it will take time to return to normal, including funding for SNAP, the federal food assistance program that feeds some 42 million Americans. And the U.S. Transportation Secretary says it will take days before air traffic will return to normal at the nation's airports. Hundreds of thousands of federal workers will also get back pay, but federal contractors like Willie Joe Price won't be one of them.
It's hard. In the process during this shutdown, my car broke down. And it's just been things going on and on and on, and I don't have the finances to do it. Right now, everything is like in the red.
This bill only lasts until the end of January. If Congress doesn't pass its standard funding bills by then, we could be in for another shutdown. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
And a major Canadian airline has lost a court battle with a couple who were refused boarding on a flight back from their honeymoon destination. The judge said the video the travelers took that documented how they were treated was a big part of the court's decision. CTV's Adrian Gabriel has more.
We want to go home, that's all.
On March 31st, 2024, Madhu Haridas and his wife arrived at Punta Cana International Airport to check in for their air transit flight home to Toronto. The couple were finishing their first vacation away as husband and wife.
We had fun except the
last day.
The last day?
Yeah.
Not so fun.
Not so fun.
That's because when they arrived at the airport, this Air Transat check-in supervisor refused to check them in unless the couple erased video they had taken of their customer service experience.
I need to delete all pictures and all video for check-in.
When they first arrived at the airport, they asked an Air Transat agent where they should line up. Harry Das's wife was traveling with an Indian passport and a Canadian work permit.
He first yelled and told to stand behind a red line. So there was a red marker on the floor. So when he yelled, immediately we stood behind.
The couple say they asked the agent to stop shouting. It was during that exchange he first refused to check them in.
When he allowed everyone else to check in, that's when I started taking videos.
Then came the ultimatum.
Okay. You deleted all information with meeting your cell phone.
It is a form of extortion or blackmailing, essentially.
Never allowed to check in, they had to purchase expensive same-day tickets with another airline. They took their case to small claims court. In a written decision, an Ontario judge found that Air Transat's conduct was effectively egregious. The judge applauded the couple for taking video, which assisted him in reaching his decision.
There is no right for the airline or any airline employee to privacy that would deprive you of documenting how they are treating you.
As a passenger, you should know your rights before you travel.
Air Transat has declined to comment on the court's ruling. The small claims court ruling resulted in Air Transat having to pay $7,000 to the couple, who say their payment included an email from the airline congratulating them on their victory.
CTV's Adrian Gobriel reporting in Toronto. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we'll have the best gifts from Best Buy. That's coming up next. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
I'm at Best Buy to get a little jump start on my holiday shopping. I am joined by Catherine, who has some great suggestions to really hit a number of people on your list. First of all, hello, great to see you again.
Hi, thanks so much for having me again, Crystal. I'm super excited to be here with you guys today and share a little bit of the products from our holiday gift guide. So the first couple products that we have are actually exclusive retail partners to Best Buy, so really exciting as well.
Yeah.
First up, we have the Asus ROG Xbox Ally X. Whole bunch of words in there. What it is, it's basically a computer and console. It takes handheld gaming to the next level. This one's actually powered so you can use all of your PC gaming. It has support for Xbox Play Anywhere, so you can pick up right where you left off from your console. You get an 80-watt battery. Try it out. It's super comfortable to hold. Yeah. 80-watt battery, extended playtime, powered by AI. Really has you ready for the future.
And this is the whole system.
The whole thing.
Like, this is it. You could take this, like, on a road trip or
take it anywhere.
Whatever.
Play your games, do your work, whatever you needed, right all there.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun. It's all right there. That's so cool. Okay, this I do have my eye on. You know what I love about this? You can tell me, well, first tell our viewers what it is.
Absolutely. So here we have the NanoLeaf. It's the LED face mask, light therapy, really great for skin healing. It can help with some concerns like fine lines or acne. This is medical grade silicone. It's super, super flexible, really comfortable to put on your face, and then also very portable if you want to take it on the go as well.
So what I love about this is it feels really neat, but because it's so flexible, I think it would be more comfortable to wear than a lot of the more hard plastic ones. Yeah, like this is just really super comfy. Like when you want to relax, you want to relax.
Exactly, very flexible, very comfortable.
Love it. Okay, this I love. I know several people who would want this bird feeder.
I have a couple people on my list that I'm thinking about gift giving, so if they're watching, don't listen. So we have here the Bird Buddy Pro. So it's a smart bird feeder. So the camera in it is actually powered by AI, so it has species recognition, has a 5-megapixel camera, you can record video, it has slow motion capture, and it's all solar powered, so it's super convenient.
And what's cool, it's you can put it anywhere, but it holds a ton of bird food too.
Yeah.
And it also has a little alarm that will scare away critters you don't want to be in there.
Exactly. This one also comes with a perch extender as well, so if you have larger birds that come visit you pretty frequently, this will make sure they can land and feed comfortably.
I love you just at home and you got it hooked up, you're like, oh, it's a yellow-bellied sapsucker, and then you get to take a picture of it.
Yeah, the AI is super, super convenient in there to recognize all those friends who are visiting you.
Fun, fun, fun. Okay, this is actually super practical, this last one.
This one, so for me, this one is on my gift list this year. I am someone, I will go to the microwave 5 or 6 times to try to heat up a tea. It takes me forever to drink it. This Ember temperature mug will keep it warm for an hour and a half outside of the coaster, or when it's plugged into the coaster charging, it will keep it warm all day.
Endless hot. Oh my gosh, this goodbye cold tea.
Exactly. I no longer have to go up and down my stairs 5 or 6 times. It'll just keep it warm.
And it's very sleek looking.
Yes, very nice on your desk.
Great gift idea.
It comes in a bunch of different colors as well, so if black's not your color, has a couple different color options.
Super fun. All right, if people are looking to purchase gifts for people, like just run through some of the ways that they can shop at Best Buy.
Yeah, absolutely. So all of these are on our website on bestbuy.ca through our holiday gift guide. While you're browsing as well, you can also make a My Best Buy account. The My Best Buy account will get you early access to some different promotions and specific products, which is really cool. And it's a free account.
Wow.
And then our Black Friday sales, our early Black Friday sales are live right now, but our actual Black Friday sale kicks off on November 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific. And then the great thing is that we also have a Black Friday price guarantee. So if you're browsing on our website and you see something that says Black Friday pricing now, it means the price isn't going to go any lower the closer we get to Black Friday. So you can shop now knowing that you're going to get the lowest price.
That's all great information, news you can use. Well, thank you so much, Catherine.
Thank you so much, Crystal.
And we put Best Buy's website on ours to make it easy for you to find. But basically, let's just box these up. We are ready to go for the holidays.
Yeah, we've got all of our gifts ready to go.
Taking a look yet again in our 3-day forecast, a high of 5 degrees today. Isolated flurries clearing, leaving a bit of sunshine into the afternoon. We will be seeing mixed precipitation return into the evening. On Friday, cooling to a high of 3 degrees and seeing sunshine for much of the province. Scattered flurries for the southern region. And then on Saturday, lots of sunshine, but a cool daytime high of 1. For Nova Scotia, we are seeing a high of 6 degrees, showers and or flurries clearing into the afternoon, leaving mainly cloudy skies. On Friday, rain and or snow with a high of 4. Cooling down even further on Saturday, a high of 3 degrees with sunshine for much of the province. We are going to see a chance of showers and flurries return for Cape Breton Island. And then for Prince Edward Island, a high of 5, periods of rain across the island. Then on Friday, 5 degrees with scattered showers, mixed precipitation into the evening. A high of 1 on Saturday with a mix of sun and cloud.
Still ahead, the Shoebox Project. We'll have details on how you can put together a box of gifts to make the holidays a little brighter for women at risk of or experiencing homelessness. We'll have those details coming up in 15 minutes on Your Morning Atlantic.
Welcome back. The time now is 8:30 on your Thursday morning. What I love about the Maritimes is everyone's so friendly. Well, Atlantic Canada, really. Everyone's so friendly, helps everyone in need. And seeing these initiatives just really warms my spirit, especially for the holidays, right?
Yeah.
I know. And what's so cool about this initiative, it started in Toronto and it's just grown across Canada.
Yeah.
So much so that we have this chapter here in Halifax. And wait till you see the number of boxes that they have collected over the years. Incredible. People are generous.
Christmas, the holiday season can be a very lonely time for people. And it's wonderful when we can do, really doesn't take a whole lot of energy from us. If we're able to do something to support another person, you feel good. And it could make their whole year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we'll have that conversation coming up in a minute to give you the details. Really, if you haven't left the house right now, you really do need to know what's happening in the weather.
Yes, it's kind of hit or miss for the precipitation that we're seeing across the Maritimes, at least. A low chance of showers and or flurries, but we do have a cloudier start to the day and a cold one at that. So that's something you should definitely keep in mind when you are heading out early this morning. And some conditions are leaving wet roads, so you may want to allot some extra time out on your commute. Here's a live look at Cape Virchue, cloud coverage, a little bit of sunshine early this morning, still seeing a chance of showers and or flurries in your area. This is going to continue into the afternoon as well. That mixed precipitation, quite a low chance for the Maritime region, but we will be seeing it pick up for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador a little bit later on. 0 as you head outdoors in Fredericton with 1 degree in Charlottetown, 3 degrees early this morning in Halifax, 4 in Sydney, as well as into St. John's, Newfoundland. Here's a look at that system currently tracking across the region. We will be seeing precipitation totals, snowfall totals a little bit later on, but for the most part, starting off quite light. We'll pick up into the afternoon, and we will be seeing some clearing as well for parts of the region, leaving some sunny breaks. In terms of the wind, though, it's remaining quite light this morning out of the east and northeast. As of right now, 22 kilometers per hour in Canso, with 20 into Grand Etang, 13 into Lunenburg. Few wind gusts at this time, 33 kilometers per hour in Canso, with 31 into Grand Etang. We'll have one last look at your long-range forecast, but first, one last look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. We begin in Nova Scotia, where RCMP are investigating an early morning shooting in Cole Harbour. In a social media post that was issued just before 6 a.m., police say it happened in the area of Forest Hills Parkway. One person was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. RCMP say there is no risk to the public at this time. There is an increased police presence outside a home on Estelle Drive on the corner of Hugh Allen Drive. That's in a neighborhood just off the Forest Hills Parkway. There's no word if police are looking for any suspects, and no description of the victim has been released. Sources have confirmed to CTV News a New Brunswick mine is on Prime Minister Mark Carney's list of nation-building projects, which is set to be announced today. The proposed mine is 70 kilometers just north of Fredericton. The province says the Sisson mine is home to one of the largest undeveloped tungsten deposits in the world. 8 years ago, there were a couple years of exploration and construction activity. However, it's been quiet since then. It's also a project that has a tenuous relationship with nearby communities.
It's hard. The boost to the community would most certainly be welcome, and then on the other end, the environmental impact of it.
And on Monday, Premier Susan Holt alluded to the mine being included on Carney's nation-building projects list. Officials with the company have said that the mine could employ over 300 people and cost upwards of $500 million to develop. For more on the other Canadian projects expected to be included, we bring in CTV's Scott Hurst. Scott, what can you tell us about which projects are expected to be on the announcement later today?
Good morning, Amanda. Even though this announcement is happening all the way on the other side of the country in the northern BC port city of Prince Rupert, you're highlighting right there the potential interest for Atlantic viewers amongst other projects that are supposedly going to be fast-tracked by the newly created Major Projects Office. So here's what we're learning in terms of the list that is likely to include the projects that are likely to be on this list. You mentioned the tungsten mine project there in New Brunswick, as well as the Silicium Mobile LNG facility in northern BC, a nickel mine project in Ontario, and a hydroelectric development in Iqaluit, as we see a map here of the projects that are likely to be on the list and the potential locations. This is, of course, the second batch of major projects. The Prime Minister announcing an initial priorities list back in September, but in his claims to diversify the economy, create so-called nation-building projects to be less reliant on one trading partner, namely the U.S. He's also faced a lot of criticism for picking projects already in various stages of development with no guarantee they'll be completed in a specific timeline, and really making a splash with a list of projects still many years away, as the opposition leader made a point of saying yesterday. The Prime Minister has been full of promises, but as Pierre Poilievre argues, the Prime Minister should instead get out of the way to help the projects get built, Amanda.
And let's talk about some provincial politics too here. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith has been pushing for a pipeline proposed between her province and British Columbia to be included in this second phase. So has there been any word on where that stands?
This is a project that has really pitted the Premier of Alberta and the Premier of British Columbia, David Eby, at odds for quite some time. But the Alberta Premier has stated recently she's been in the middle of discussions with Ottawa on this plan, on this pipeline project, going back and forth daily, she says, with the feds on a potential memorandum of understanding, hoping to iron out ongoing differences in time for Grey Cup or shortly after, which is this weekend, but no specific timeline, seeming optimistic that the two sides appear close on a lot of issues, yet at this time nothing official or concrete. That it's part of today's announcement. Alberta, as we know, has remained critical of some federal environmental laws that hinder pipeline expansion, including an oil tanker ban along BC's north coast. Yet you can bet, Amanda, when the Prime Minister takes questions this afternoon, it'll be something he'll have to explain where things currently stand with Alberta and likely be pressed for a timeline on any future announcement. The Prime Minister making this announcement in British Columbia later this afternoon.
Okay, well, we'll be listening for those details. Scott, thank you so much for breaking it down for us this morning.
Thanks, Amanda.
CTV's Scott Hurst reporting live from our national newsroom in Toronto. Finally, Nova Scotia's Tree for Boston is now on its way to Beantown. Nova Scotia hoisted its annual gift to the people of Boston and then loaded it up for the drive to New England yesterday. This year's tree is a majestic white spruce from Lunenburg County, courtesy of the Feener family. Nearly 14 meters tall, the tree will make its way to the Boston Common as a thank you for that city's help following the Halifax explosion in 1917. An annual tradition here. Lots of pomp and circumstance, too, for the big event yesterday when it was taken down. And now it's going to go to Boston. And that ceremony should be on the Boston Common December 4th.
Love a tradition, especially when it's rooted in kindness.
Right. Yes.
And I'm going to add that Boston tree ceremony to my bucket list.
Yes.
Do we say that every day on the show? We probably do. We're going to add that to the bucket list.
Add it to the list.
So I thought this might be perfect for us. You've heard of a bucket hat. How about a bucket list hat? Iconic hat maker Tilly and Air Canada have teamed up to create the bucket list hat. It's a limited edition version of the Tilly T1 bucket hat with an Air Canada logo on the front, as you can see. But here's the catch. When you see the inside, it's a list of 90 dream-worthy destinations you can fly with Air Canada. So if you love to travel, this hat could be a practical choice to block the sun, but maybe also provide inspiration for your next adventure.
Oh, that's neat.
Isn't it neat? So all the places are in there.
That's cool.
Right? And I guess if you go to it, you could maybe like block it out, you know, with the marker or something, and then...
Oh, yeah.
That's way better than like those little packages you get if your flight was disrupted, you know, with like the oversized T-shirt.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Throwing the, the toothbrush you can use once, a little bit of deodorant.
Yeah, well, you know what? Just saying. Bucket hat's a classic. In any case, that is happening now. You can do that, but in our region, there's a lot more going on.
Yeah, so we're getting festive across the region.
Yay!
Yeah, St. John is spreading holiday cheer this upcoming weekend as Santa rides in on his sleigh.
Yay!
The 72nd annual Christmas Claus. Well, it is Christmas, and Santa Claus is coming to town. Bringing holiday magic through the city this upcoming Saturday at 6 p.m. This year's theme is animated Christmas. So to see the new parade route, head over to the website on your screen. And the annual festive wreath contest and exhibition returns in Charlottetown for the holiday season from November 15th to the 16th. You can actually come out and compete or watch this competition. The event is held at the Confederation Center of the Arts from 1 to 3. And for more information, you can head over to their site to find out how to register.
Hallmark movie.
Right?
They met at the competition.
Oh, here we go.
All right, we're saying help Santa wake up Woody this weekend at the Micmac Mall. This holiday hero will come to life Saturday, November 15th at 10 a.m. This year's Wake Up Woody is a PJ party, so be sure to arrive in style. You will also have the opportunity to take a photo with Santa at Portland Express. There will be face painting and so much more. For additional information, head over to Micmac's website. And if you do have an upcoming event, you want to know all about it, send us the details, Your Morning Atlantic at ctv.ca.
Thanks, Latavia. And speaking of events, too, the Shoebox Project. You can make someone's holiday a little brighter by filling a shoebox with small gifts. We'll tell you how you can make a difference during a tough time just ahead here.
Four degrees starting off your day in Bedeque. Welcome back. The time now is 8:44. 4 degrees starting off your day, and we are expecting some scattered showers and or flurries, but currently it looks like we're seeing a bit of sunshine. So over the next couple of days, it's going to continue to get colder. So this is not a surprise that it is a cooler start to the day early this morning. 0 in Fredericton with 2 degrees in both Charlottetown and Halifax, 4 in Sydney and St. John's, Newfoundland. Starting off the day, we do have a bit of sunshine for parts of Newfoundland, looking at a mix of sun and cloud early this morning. For the Maritime region, we are dealing with some mixed precipitation, a chance of showers and or flurries for parts of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, seeing periods of rain across Prince Edward Island, and for Labrador, looking at some wet weather in terms of snow. So over to our afternoon forecast, much of the same expected. We will be seeing a bit of clearing from that mixed precipitation, leaving bit more sunshine within the maritime region. And then into the evening and overnight hours, pretty much the same. Mixed precipitation will be returning, taking us into early Friday morning, but it will be a colder day ahead on Friday, ending off the work week. If you're wondering about rainfall accumulation, going to see around 2 to 30 millimeters across Prince Edward Island, 10 to 20 for Moncton, and the heaviest of that precipitation additional would be 40 to 50 millimeters for parts of Nova Scotia. Looking at around 2 to 40 for parts of Newfoundland. And then for our snowfall outlook, going to remain quite light for much of the maritime region. We could see an accumulation of 1 to 5 centimeters. And then for Newfoundland, also seeing around 1 to 10 centimeters of snowfall. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. We are expecting a chance of flurries and or showers starting off the day. Could be clearing into the afternoon. We will be seeing a mix of sun and cloud return for parts of the province. Daytime highs between 2 to 6 degrees and mixed precipitation returns into the evening. Prince Edward Island looking at highs between 4 to 6 degrees and periods of rain expected on and off throughout the day. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, scattered showers and or flurries returns. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, looking at mixed precipitation starting off the day, clearing, leaving mainly cloudy skies into the afternoon. And then for Labrador City, a high of -6 today, a chance of flurries throughout your day, 7 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland. A mix of sun and clouds starts off your day. Periods of rain will move into the afternoon. Friday's forecast, we will be seeing a bit of sunshine starting off the day, but we also have some mixed precipitation wrapping back around for parts of Atlantic Canada. It's going to be a much colder day ahead entering into the weekend. We are going to see another cold day ahead, probably the coldest day of the week, with sunshine returning for much of the Maritime. Still seeing a bit of mixed precipitation for Cape Breton Island and for Newfoundland and Labrador as well, Crystal.
Thank you, Latavia. It's 8:46 and it is a giving season. Our next guest is here to make sure no one feels alone. From now until December 15th, the Shoebox Project is collecting and distributing shoeboxes filled with everyday essentials and little luxuries to women in need. Here to tell us more is the Halifax coordinator of the Shoebox Project, Catherine Sinclair. Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning. How are you?
I am great today. Thank you so much for coming in and bringing us some examples of the shoeboxes. For anybody out there who's not familiar, how does the Shoebox Project work?
Yeah, so my role is as coordinator is to collect and distribute the shoeboxes, and ideally they are donated by members of the community who put together items such as these into boxes and drop them off to our drop-off locations.
Okay, and in our region, who would be the recipients of these boxes?
So it can be people who are accessing services or those who are in shelters, and these boxes are specifically designed for women who are in need.
Okay, and why is it women?
It started in 2011 in Toronto with actually the Mulrooney family. All the sisters and sisters-in-laws got together and decided to put together these boxes, and it's just expanded from then. And they really wanted to focus on women because unfortunately they're the ones accessing these services. As you can see on my stats, I believe it's 90% of families that are in shelters are led by women. It's also important for those who are being rescued from domestic abuse situations and things like that. And these boxes are often the only things that they may be getting during the holiday season.
And I know that it really does make a difference in the lives of people. For example, you have some stories to share of how these boxes really impact people in a positive way.
Absolutely. So one of my favorite stories is from Bridgewater. Normally they don't get deliveries. Although I'm the Halifax coordinator, there's no one else in Nova Scotia doing this, so I do my best to spread the boxes as far north and as far south as I can. And they had never really received anything at the holidays, and they were just so appreciative. And then there's other shelters that I've dropped off that have gotten them over the years, and it's something that they look forward to, and they get so excited when we walk through the door. And then there's other shelters I've talked to that put their names on the boxes, so when they come down in the morning, they have a box with their name on it, and like they weren't expecting that, and they just came down and there was a present under the tree with their name. And it was just so special for them to receive something.
It's just the person who receives the gift knows that someone has thought of them, and it just really, it can make their whole year. I have heard from other people who, yeah, it's wonderful. And I know that you give your time to this organization and you're very passionate about it. One of the things that's special, we're seeing the boxes now, the items in the boxes, people can actually make up boxes. I think it's important we let people know. You can make up boxes, values $50 of the different products, or you can just donate. How do you donate?
Yeah, you can go to our website, theshoeboxproject.com, and there's a little tab that says donate, And like we said, boxes are ideally around $50, but if you aren't able to contribute that much, you could always just contribute some boxes and bring them to one of our drop-off locations as well.
Yeah, for example, if you happen to pick up a few products, you want to get some nice socks, you could just drop those off at the locations, and that is all on the website. One other thing I wanted to mention that I think really sets us apart is these handwritten notes, and I have heard from recipients of these notes that this alone really helped them feel thought of and cared for.
Exactly, and that's bringing the community together and letting them know that someone out there cares. Even if you never meet and never cross paths, someone put the time and effort to put all these items together and write a really nice handwritten note.
So does the person who makes the box write the note, or do you and your volunteers make the notes?
It can be either or, but oftentimes people forget to write the note. So if you ever see me at a market, I may be asking you to help me fill out note cards, because my goal this year is to do 1,000 shoe boxes.
Okay.
And my wrist would get tired if I had to write 1,000 note cards.
Yes.
So yeah, these lovely examples, I can't take credit for of these notes. They were written by people who had come by when I was at a market.
So, okay, so in your website, we can find out where you're going to be if we want to support that way. We can find out how to donate and how to help. Are you looking for volunteers?
Yes, that's also on the website as well, a different drop-down menu, and you would fill out an application and say how you want to help, whether that's help putting boxes together, inspecting, helping do deliveries, those kinds of things. There's all different ways, helping with social media. I need help in all those ways.
Well, Catherine, thank you so much for this work. I know it's making a difference in the community. Keep going. And we put all the details about the Shoebox Project on our website, but I know from my own experience that if you're feeling a little bit down, helping out others can really help lift your spirits as well. It's a really special thing. All right, it's 8:51. We're now going to turn our attention over to a short break. We'll be back to wrap up the show right after this.
#1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
It's 8:55, the last few minutes of our show. So we want to share our answers to the Move Morning Chat. We were asking you, what is something that you do that calms you down instantly? You have some lovely answers. Karen says, when I'm feeling stressed, spending time with my horses outside or playing with my sweet little pet rats. She says, they are like little puppies, always excited to see me and so affectionate, always relaxes me and lifts my spirits. Animals are so wonderful.
Karen, so interesting. I love this. I'd love to visit your horses.
Yes. Christine says, I visit our local beach regularly to listen to the ocean. It's just so soothing.
Absolutely.
I agree.
So true. We have so many wonderful waterways around here. Valerie, I'm with you. A hot cup of tea.
Yes, that's soothing as heck.
Beat a hot cup of tea.
It is, yeah.
Scott from Millville says, taking my guitar and singing my heart out is my calming therapy.
Yeah, well, and for those of us who don't know how to play the guitar, just singing your heart out.
Exactly. We're listening to someone playing guitar.
Yes.
Kathy from Center Burlington says, what instantly calms me down is sitting in my comfy chair with a homemade quilt over me, made by my mom, and of course my purring cat Nina on my knees. Instant relaxation.
Oh yeah, you could paint a picture, Kathy. That sounds very relaxing.
It does. Karen from Dartmouth says, the thing that calms me down this time of year, being so busy, is sitting in my living room, no lights on except for my Christmas tree lights.
Oh, that's amazing.
Isn't that the best? So soothing and calming. Also baking. She says, I'm in my happy, calm place when I'm in my kitchen. She sent us some photos too of delicious cookies.
Oh, wow.
I didn't have time to turn them around, but trust me, they look good. Patty says, I go to the coast to distress. I will sit on the rocks and listen to the water and just take in the sunrise. Patty's in Prince Edward Island. She also texted us a beautiful photo. I didn't have time to turn around. I'm so sorry, Patty. But it was stunning.
Oh, yeah, I believe it.
And we also have another one too, a special one as well. The thing that calms me right down is going to the sunroom and sitting in my egg chair with a good book. Love that. And Donna from Your Morning Atlantic's control room says, having my kitty Silver crawl up on me to snuggle instantly calms me down. And guess what? This is Silver.
Yay. Well, Donna, what's stopping you from bringing Silver to work?
For real. I feel like share the calmness and love.
I know. I feel like Silver was an adoptable on the show.
Really?
Am I right?
Wow. That's wonderful.
Maybe. I feel like that's the case. Anyways, that's a story for another day.
I like this topic today. Thanks so much for weighing in on it. We're out of time today. We'll see you tomorrow for the Friday edition of the show.
Bye.
Have a great day.
See ya.